It's a Seb podcast show.
Bam, we're live. Almost got it synced. I can't even believe the story I'm reading this morning. I am watching absolutely the most bizarre show I've ever seen, The Boys. And just when I thought it couldn't get any more bizarre, the actress that's Starlight, Erin Moriarty, has taken a break from Instagram. This is fucking crazy. She's taken a break from Instagram. Holy shit. If you don't know the show, I can't tell exactly what the show is doing exactly. I can't tell if it's satire regarding the left and the right. I can't tell if it's woke or making fun of woke. It's so bad. But if you see woke stuff, you start to realize that what we think is making fun of them is actually who they are. So it's really difficult to tell. It almost seems like satire, that this story that she got off of Instagram. She's quitting social media after Megyn Kelly went on a rant about her looks. Well, yeah, she did. She jacked her face up, the Starlight character. Something happened to her between season 3 and 4. I just can't believe this is actually real. I think the guest isn't here soon, so I will. Oh, yep, here we go. We'll come back to this insanity. Yo, what's up, dude?
Hey, Savan, how you doing, my friend?
Good. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm doing good. Just coming off a long weekend.
A good weekend?
Good long weekend. Obviously had the 4th of July, so yeah, all's well.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you. No, my ability to be able to help and show people what we have is dear to me. So I love the opportunity.
Adam, can you pronounce? Is it Caerus strength?
So it's Caerus. So it's Zeus's youngest son, the Greek god of opportunity and fortune and timings. So Caerus strength.
Caerus strength. God, Google wants me to spell it as Caesar so bad. Caerus strength. Hey, so there's so many ways to look at this. I want to start at the very beginning. So you invented this device.
I did. So to give you a little bit of a background on how it came about. So during the pandemic, everybody was at home. I was in the worst shape of my life. We were looking around. You could only order food out. And I was talking to the gentleman who is now my partner, Carl Fink.
Can I ask what state you lived in?
Yeah, so I live in Florida.
Okay.
And my partner's up in Illinois. But we were talking during the pandemic, and he's like, man, I've never felt better. I'm like, how can you feel better when everybody else can't go to the gym or do any of that? And he kind of went into it. He goes, I don't have to drive to work. So I lift an hour in the morning. I do an hour of cardio in the evening. I've never been better. So I went under my own health journey, started losing weight. And in that journey, I came up with the invention that you now see as the Caerus Strength Trainer. And I was walking and I was thinking about things. There was a condition called sarcopenia, which is a muscle strength and size disease that at the time there were only 3 books that were published worldwide. And my partner and I wanted to let people know that you don't have to get old and get weak. We were looking at the theory of elite aging. And so I was looking at the books with all these people, they were sitting in front of either a big bulky machine, which obviously I know I'm an athlete that they were using, or they were pulling stuff that were off the screen. And while I'm reading the book, my daughter, who was born with spastic quadriplegic cerebral palsy with microcephaly, my angel's always going to be in a wheelchair, but she was sitting in the room with me. And I looked and I was reading this. I'm like, there's nothing that somebody in her condition could use the machines that they have effectively in this picture. And so I started, I was thinking about it, and all of a sudden, I got the vision and went over, grabbed the pen and paper, and literally drew out what you now see as the device, the system, from all 4 angles. I started doing in my head things that weren't even ever created. We have the world's shortest functional resistance band ever made. it took us over a year, which seems like it would be easy, but it's not, to be able to make sure you get a full range of motion, and yet you can have enough resistance on there, but have it short enough that you can start far enough back. So I started drawing this all up, and my partner happens to be a patent attorney, one of the most prolific patent attorneys in the U.S. And I went to him like everybody else that talks to him. He's like, hey, I've got an idea. And he was very interested, started listening to it. And he's like, man, you're onto something big. Then we did our patent searches, and there was nothing like it. And so then we kind of went to the next phase of, okay, I made a rough prototype myself, but then we went on the journey of having a commercially made prototype, and it took several iterations and then moved to commercialization. So there's a bunch of steps in there, but overall it was me during my health journey looking to start a website or start a company to help people stay and get fit, get healthy. And I just was inspired by looking at what I was seeing and the lack of a tool for people in the marketplace that made me come up with this idea.
So just really quick, was your daughter's born? I don't know much about cerebral palsy. She's born like that?
Yeah, so she was born, so she had oxygen deprivation at birth. They told us she wasn't going to live. She was in the NICU for 13 days. She was 41 weeks when she was born. But her brain damage affects several parts of her body. So when we say spastic quadriplegic, it means that in all four limbs, she's really tight. Her wrists turn in, her feet are really tight. And then microcephaly, because she had oxygen deprivation, the size of her head is smaller than it's supposed to be. So that's called microcephaly. So it was a trauma at birth. She aspirated meconium, but it didn't kill her. She's with us. She's our angel. But yeah, she was fully healthy until that occurred. And so now,
and it occurred at birth.
At birth. And there was nothing. I mean, there was a fetal monitor strip that went missing. There was things that we couldn't really prove. But I got to say, I told my wife, instead of being bitter and try chasing lawsuits her entire life, let's just love our daughter the way she is. She's gonna be with us. I don't want to feel bitter about her situation or whatever happened, or keep griping about it. So after we looked and we knew there wasn't enough stuff that we could prove, we let it go. We put our arms around her. You know what? And I made the commitment from that moment forward that my wife will do the therapy and I'll make the money. And she's been a stay-at-home mom for my oldest daughter and now two other children. But it ended up working out. So, but yeah, it was definitely a mistake at birth.
How old is she?
She is 17.
And how old are your other kids?
So my younger son just turned 15, who happens to be 6'8", 300 pounds.
Wow.
And then my youngest daughter is 10.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'4", 6'4" and a half.
Your son is 6'8".
Size 19 shoe. He has like a 7'5" wingspan. And he's very gifted as far as academics goes. So he's got both sides. He's got size, but he's also got brains.
Is he playing sports? So
he played football this year. He's gonna play basketball. He loves basketball, and he's really into to volleyball. So he really loves playing it. So like beach volleyball. His arms go way over the net, jumping. So I'm not sure where he's gonna land. I played football at the University of Michigan, so everybody thought he would play football, but I didn't push him down a lane. Whatever he wants to do, it's his life. I support him. And if he's going to do it, he's got to do it at his best. But right now he's testing out other sports. He's always been good at basketball. But now I think he's really got a niche for volleyball.
Yeah, volleyball is cool. That's a great scene. That's a great, healthy scene. Beach volleyball is a cool scene. How tall is your wife?
She is 5'8" and a half.
Is she tall for her family, or is she short?
No, she's short. Her two sisters are 6 foot.
Holy cow!
And my 10-year-old daughter is 5'7".
Wow. And you said your boy's only 15.
He just turned 15 in April. So
let me ask you this. This is totally off subject. I'm only 5'5", and my kids are active all day. and they don't go to school, and they're homeschooled. And I don't think that they're going to go through an awkward stage for two reasons, because they're short and because they're moving all the time. Is it possible to do that with tall kids also? Like, do all kids have to go? Because I've seen these kids who are just fantastic athletes, and then around boys who are like 11 years old, and then from 11 to 13, they're still good, but some shit kind of goes haywire, right?
Well, I will tell you, being that tall, he
Yeah.
had problems with his knees at football. So they
Yeah.
were having him do squats down to his ankles and all sorts of things. And he's got flexible joints, they say.
Yeah.
So for him, it was almost like a puppy growing so quickly that
Yeah.
it almost threw off his equilibrium a little bit. He's gained a lot of that back.
Yeah.
But there was a good year there that he was just trying to growing so fast. I don't think he's done. He's hoping he's done. He may be done, but again, he just turned 15. He looks, and he's still got a baby face. So I think he's got a little bit more to go. But
so it's a lot to deal with. It does. Your center of mass it basically changes every morning when you wake up.
yeah, and again, as he's growing, so there's the growing pains, and literally grew a foot in a year. So
oh my God.
just to be shooting up, it's like, how do you gain that and keep your balance and everything with that much growth? But he's done a great job, and we got in the weight room. So like I said, most kids that are his height are skinny, tiny kids, but he's a powerful kid.
Yeah.
So he's getting really strong, and he's getting addicted to the weight room where he really loves to go. He pushes me, and so he's very healthy, but nicest kid in the world. He looks like he could be the most intimidating thing, but he's just a sweet kid.
What a lifelong gift, right? Well, once if you get into the weight room when you're a kid, and then you can just have that your whole life. What a great addiction!
Well, and I love that we do it together, because that's
Yeah.
a bonding experience for me and my son that a lot of dads don't do. We're in there, and people are like, "I wish my kid would come with me."
Yeah.
Well, first, I'm like, "Well, I made him come with me," but now he loves it. We talk. I think it obviously the health benefits from getting strong and doing the whole thing, but the one-on-one time that he can tell me things and just let go, it's I wouldn't change it for anything.
What was your going into the pandemic? What was your job? What was your vocation?
So I've always been in sales.
Mhm.
I was in legal sales. So anything that you had with a lawsuit. So if it was electronic discovery, getting emails or things off of people's computers or cell phones, all the way through what's called e-discovery, electronic discovery. So filtering all that data. So anything to do with the legal industry, that's what I was doing. I sold those services to law firms, deposition services, trial services. And then before that, I've had various sales positions in different industries.
And had you ever invented anything before the Caerus strength device?
I am like crazy old Maurice from Beauty and the Beast. I literally had probably 15 other things that I've come up with in life that I just didn't know how to move forward. I've got some that I've made the prototypes and people still use them today. But this was the first one. And there's a lot of things I've done in life to chase money where I'm always going, how do I make money? This is the first thing that I've ever done that I was like, how do we change people's lives? Like my daughter, and just so you know, and I'll put it out there, what I've invented is the world's first body anchored strength conditioning and therapy system that can be accessed in any position. So lying in a hospital bed, to a wheelchair, to a fully functioning individual. We've got professional athletes all the way to 95-year-old grandparents using the system, 5-year-old kids to quadriplegic veterans. It really just depends. And when I invented it, I didn't realize how many areas that this would help. And we're seeing things on the performance side, from people's vertical jump, like increasing multiple inches in a short period of time. We had an athlete that went into was going into the NFL draft, and he dropped his 40 from a 4.7 to a 4.48 by doing sprinting exercises and things with our system on. So there's a lot of different benefits that have come once the invention was created, but it literally has different benefits for different people at different stages. As you see the gentleman on your screen, It has all sorts of these are more for your athletic moves. There's a lot more functional strengthening that goes on here. So you can do all sorts of different combinations. But again, it can also be done by my daughter. Well, she uses it for correctional positioning. I've got Medicare codes and stuff approved to cover a back brace version of what I've done. But we're really just trying to get it on as many people as we can to change lives. And in the sports world, we're trying to give a competitive advantage to those that want to try it out. And I know you specifically are a big CrossFit guy, and we've been talked to by several people. Obviously, there's weighted bags that can go in it so you can ruck, but we don't have it where you're doing 40, 50, 60 pounds. We literally, it comes with 10. You can probably do 20 pounds in that vest, but it's the most comfortable weighted vest I've ever worn because most of them pull down on you, and it really is tough.
Yeah, this thing's crazy tight to your body too, which is nice. The worst part about all those vests and rucks and everything is just the bouncing, the moving around.
Absolutely. And this we make in every size because you do want it to fit tight like a glove. There's an internal belt that actually straps on that makes it where it does not twist at all. And our goal, and then when you have the foot straps, so you can do up to 600 pounds of banded weighted squats, or you can do
600 pounds.
Yeah. So there's the foot attachment has 4 different places that you can attach bands to. And so on the vest, there's also multiple attachments around the bottom, up in the front, on the side, in the back. So if you take the red bands are 50 pounds, and you do 2 of the red bands from the front hook to the inside of the shoe, to the side hook to the side, and from the back hook to the back of the heel, that's 300 pounds per leg, and that you could be doing 600-pound banded weighted squats.
Do the bands come in different lengths for a guy who's 6'8" versus a guy who's 5'5" versus a kid?
The standard system comes with 8-inch bands, so 2 sets. One is at 15 and one's at 25 pounds of 8-inch bands. Then we have same weight allotment for 10-inch bands, and then we have 18-inch bands for the legs. Now we can customize and do things. We made them different lengths for a reason. So say you have somebody that 30 pounds is the lightest leg band that we give with our basic package, but say they just can't do it. They could link a 15-pound band, and imagine this one's yellow, and they can click these 2 together. And now they have a 15-pound leg band that's exactly 18 inches.
Okay.
So you can have, with the same system, you can do 15, 25, 30, 45 up to 50, and then multiple weights all the way up. And when you hook them in, it just feels like one constant resistance.
Adam, so can you tell me about so you think of this and you draw it. Can you tell me the very first time you put it together? Is this like you go to Home Depot and get bungee cords?
So I went out again. I've had crazy old Maurice moments. So obviously I write them down. I went in just so I can have a visualization. I took an old fisherman vest, took off all the pockets. I went in. I still have it. It's kind of funny. I went in.
You use like one of those things like that my mom has that takes, or I used to use it as a kid to take the sleeves off my shirt. Those things that
the little ripper.
Yeah.
And I was using scissors to cut it out. Yeah, little piece of scissors. But then I took wire hangers, and I broke them off, and I bent them into triangles. So then I put the triangles and I put them on the vest because I knew that I wanted it. And now the way that they are almost half moon, but I wanted to make sure that there was almost a cradle for it to go into.
Right.
And I started putting them on and attaching them on this vest where I would put them. And it was way too loose. So I knew it was just for visualization of where these things would go. So I've got the original, but it was literally a fisherman's vest and coat hangers that were broken off and bent into triangle pieces for the different attachment places.
How long did it take you to make the first one? Is it just like you're just doing it all day, every day for a week? Do you just start obsessing on it? No.
So I drew it up. I made that prototype just visually in probably 20 minutes, just so my wife could understand what I was talking about, kind of showing her where it was at. But then
does she care, or does she just pretend to care?
Now, well,
you know what I mean? Like you could be like, you're like, honey, I'm going to make this vest that's going to change the world. And our daughter's going to use it and increase her strength. She's like, okay, listen, sweetheart.
When I picked up the piece of paper, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have an idea. She's like, not again. Not this. I'm like, no, honey, this is the one. But no, she absolutely. We've seen stroke patients that
Yeah.
have been paralyzed on one side of their body regain movement after 15, 20 minutes of working with them in our system. We've seen people with a severe front tilt. When you can put the straps across the back of an X and it pulls you right back in a proper position, that go from leaning over to walking in a proper gait in 20 minutes. Like the stuff that we're seeing, the stuff that we're seeing on real people, real patients is what's so motivating, is that we literally have people changing their lives. Our system is being used at Fort Belvoir, the Army's largest rehab center, and we have helped reverse bladder incontinence in almost 24 women.
Wow.
Because the way that it works when they're doing their pelvic floor exercises, their main civilian PT there, Anna Lynn, puts them in our system. And because you're the anchor, but you're the stability, but also the strength production, it just engages your core at a whole deeper level. So by wearing our system and doing these moves, after an average of about 4 visits, they stop coming back to her. The bladder leakage stops. And that's something that every single woman will experience in their lifetime, and a majority of men. And we do believe we have a non-invasive, non-surgical solution that will help people keep their dignity and not have to wear pads or diapers. And this is globally. Again, an additional benefit I didn't know when I was first putting this together, but the more we have it in clinical settings and with different therapists, the more benefits that they're seeing.
That's so funny. I just Googled, I've never seen this. I just Googled Caerus strength to see, and typed in Amazon to see if it was on Amazon. And I got this note from the browser. Request was throttled. Please wait a moment to refresh page. I've never seen that.
They don't have it. They don't know about it. And the reason we're not selling it on Amazon is because if you sell over $100 million of product on Amazon, I've heard from insiders, they end up taking your product.
Yeah.
And making their own version. And they're like,
Yeah.
Go ahead and sue me.
Yeah.
And we already know what the value and where this is going. And so we've decided at this point we do not have it on Amazon. And that's, again, it's not about the money. It's about the mission. And we want to make sure that we can keep it pure. So it's not on Amazon.
Does Rogue sell it? Does Rogue Fitness sell it?
No, they're a competitor of ours.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, I had no idea. Meaning they have something similar?
No, just meaning that they're in the same space. Actually, we've got several potential licensing deals that we are discussing right now with some of the world's largest, won't say their names, sports companies, as well as some of the world's largest orthopedic bracing companies in the world looking to license this. But a Rogue Fitness, I think a Peloton. Now, here's the other thing. Think about this. Peloton has an issue because they never figured out the strength training portion of anything.
Right.
Then they sold you a bike with 2 little dumbbells that you put behind your butt.
Right.
You're supposed to do that.
Right.
Now imagine you could be banded in our system while you're doing the bike, but in between you could be doing chest presses, you could be doing overhead presses, lateral raises. You could be intensifying and doing things while you're on the bike without ever having to get off. And they could do a combination of strength training and cycling that has never been done, but they don't have what we have. We have the patents, everything on our product, but it would be so we're open for different relationships, because for me, it's how do we help people? It's literally, I can't help them if they don't try it. If they don't put it on, then I'm not able to help that person. So for me, it's all about exposure, showing people what we've done, all the amazing things that it's doing for people. But typically once somebody tries it on, they want one.
Hey,
they want one. Their parents want one, because once you feel it, I was obviously a college athlete all the way through Michigan. I never felt anything interact with my body the way that this does.
So the bladder control was not, that was just like like an oh shit moment. Like that wasn't, who figured that out?
So Anna Lynn Parafoy, she's the top civilian PT at Fort Belvoir. We went in and we got a presentation in front of, it's like 75 to 100 of their physical therapy therapists and physical therapy.
And they've
doctors.
seen it all, by the way. You know, everyone's pitching everything to the government, right?
Everything. And we go in the room, and the main guy at the base, the main military PT, he always is tough on vendors. And
Right,
so we
right.
go in there
He's
and he's
gotta
got
be
a room full
skeptical
of
as
people.
shit. Yeah, he's gotta be skeptical as shit.
Got a room full of people. It's like, all right, I'll try it on. So we put him on and I started anchoring him, man. I started putting bands on him. And he's jumping around, being goofy and everything. And he's like, yeah, but I just don't know if this is enough of a workout. Then he takes it off. His shirt is dripping wet. And everybody looks at him. He goes, I guess I was getting a really good workout. So then we demoed it with all of his people. And every single one of them, top level doctors are like, oh my goodness, it can do this, it can do that. And they started walking through it. And by the end of the meeting, the most skeptical person in the room, Ciccarello, told Anna Lynn, order as many as you need. We're 100% in. So they're using them in clinic now. We've got patients that they are prescribing the back brace version 2 that have the correct diagnosis that's covered by insurance. But we're getting those through there. But Anna Lynn is a 32-year pelvic floor specialist. So she's a PT, but she specializes in the pelvic floor. And when she saw it, used it, put it on, first time she saw it actually was her daughter started the wrestling program at the Army, so at West Point, the female wrestling team. And her daughter tried it on from one of my sales reps at an event. And she was so, we have videos of her. She was blazing fast in it. She used it. When she took it off, she scrimmaged a guy who won 2 national championships in high school and took him down 3 times. In a minute, she felt quicker. She was more explosive. And that's when Anna Lynn's like, hey, I can see this with our patients. So then she got us into Fort Belvoir and then used it on her patients. And just by putting them in it and going through their different exercises, she's the one that revealed that it stopped pelvic pain. In men, they have pain in certain areas. So it stopped the pain. It stopped bladder leakage. There was a captain that was waiting to take over a aircraft carrier, but had to wait until this issue was corrected. And after 4 visits, it was. So now she's able to move up in her career. And it was just an ancillary benefit that we had no idea, but it was discovered in the clinical
test. Hey, because that's a huge problem. I don't know if problem's the word. I don't want to make it a problem, but that I don't know if it's a problem if your bladder leaks. But
it is a gigantic, I would say it's an issue that a lot of people deal with. And
CrossFitters have it. Female CrossFitters. I mean, every competition I've ever been to, I'll be interviewing one girl. I'm like, how was it? And she's like, oh, I was peeing out there. Deadlifting, jumping ropes, lunges. There's a ton of people that's happening to.
100%. And it's literally every single lady. So whether it is post child,
yeah,
or even as they get older and gravity takes place, almost every single woman will have a problem when they sneeze, they pee, they cough, they pee. I mean, it just happens. And then the unspoken truth is it happens to a lot of guys. And think about just the dignity of both of having to talk about wearing a diaper or wearing pads because you can't stop the flow. It happens.
Or how the fuck the dignity, someone like me that's completely egoless and 100% enlightened, a walking Buddha, thank you. I just don't want, how about I just don't want to pee in my fucking pants?
Right. That's it. Oh, 100%. That's what I'm saying. Well, you don't want to walk down the street. So yeah, either you don't want to be all that. And our solution, because it's non-surgical. So the only way you can do it are bladder suspensions, I believe, or the surgical side. They've got devices that have to be inserted, and it works.
I'd rather pee my pants than have surgery. Yeah, I like your way.
And for ours, we're actually being able to see it. So we're getting a clinical trial started we're in the talks with Henry Ford Healthcare up in Michigan, and then Anna Lynn from Fort Belvoir to start putting something together, because now what she has seen in the clinical setting, we're going to be doing trials. This could be the number one reason that my system is a huge success, because literally billions of people on this planet will have that issue and nobody likes it.
Leaky vagina.
There's not really a solution for it. I mean, you see things on TV things that pull moisture away. It's like, let's get to the bottom of it if we can. Right. And just depending on age and where they're at. And as long as there's not if there's minor lapses and things, but if there's a major prolapse, there are a few things that it won't work on. So we're, again, in the clinical setting, we're going to make sure that we know all the
A major prolapse. Yikes.
Right. So if people have certain issues, this may not work. But otherwise,
what a great word, right? Prolapse. I mean, as long as it's not being used on you to describe
Right.
anything of you. What a great word. Hey, listen to this. If you don't want the Caerus system, you can just move to Florida and stand outside. 10 seconds outside in Florida and you will be sweating.
Oh man, it was on 4th of July. It felt like 112 degrees at 4 p.m. I'm like, man.
Someone in the chat, Augustus, I found the website and you can order them just straight online. They have a kid. All I care about is the kids version. Hey, what's this kids? I want to go back to what happened after the first prototype, but since I love kids, my kids so much, how old the product for kids? How old?
So we have them. It really
or size.
Size we have.
Can I fit in the kids one?
Depends on how little you are.
5'5".
So I've got them in double extra small, extra small, small, medium, and large. So there's 5 kid sizes. And then at the time you're at the large of the kid sizes, you're getting into the adult extra small. And we have adult extra small to 7X in men and extra small to 6X in female.
Okay, and here's a size chart. A large is okay, you got to go height. Oh, you got the height in centimeters.
That's the torso. I think that's the torso height.
Okay. Okay, so you make the first prototype, and you were saying it wasn't, Adam, you were saying it wasn't necessarily functional. It was just for visualizing.
Right. So then I'll fast forward to after I talked, because before I went and spent all this money, want to make sure there was nothing like it out there. And there isn't. And I did all my searches, and then that's when I talked to my partner, who he works as a IP litigator, and he now works for one of the largest IP firms in the world. And I had him, first of all, he listened to it. We were already going to go into business. He did the international and background, and we found a few things that were out there that were nothing like ours, but we had to make sure, check off the boxes. And when we saw that there was nothing like it, we started filing provisional patents. And we've got versions that aren't even out yet. I've got like 13 to 15 utility patents filed. We have design patents filed. We filed international PCT filing. So now we're going into each individual country, and we should have it patented in 145 different countries. So we know what we have. We know that it's special. And it's just a different way to apply the technology. But once we did that research, I started looking at prototype companies that it's cut and sew prototyping. It's different than hard, like plastic molding and that stuff. There's a ton of those, but cut and sew is a little bit different. And not just cut and sew like T-shirts. Ours is more like equipment, even though it's made of fabric. So it took me 8 different prototypers for me to talk to, go through. Some people are like, can't be done. One kid had no idea. He's like, do you know how expensive that is? It's like $400 per prototype, which is, I wouldn't have done a prototype for $400. We knew that it's going to cost more than that. But then we found Priority Design. I'll give them a shout out down in Ohio. Even though I'm a Michigan guy, they're in Columbus. They were amazing. And I went to them with my drawings, with what we had, gave it to them, and we worked through and came up with what is basically now, I mean, there's been small changes, but the first working version of my prototype. And they sent it to me, and I will tell you, I was shaking when the box came, because I'm like, man, my life, like in my head, this thing's going to be big.
And this was expensive. A prototype's really expensive.
Yeah, $1,000. It costs probably all in all between that and there's all the registration and stuff, but it was probably $10,000 to $20,000 just for the prototyping and the design and engineering of it. The first one. Then it gets cheaper after you start getting it. But I had them make it, put all the attachment stuff where I wanted it. But instead of having the metal attachments on there, I had webbing with rubberized stuff. But then again, you learn that carabiners will start tearing at it, and it gets tough to get off. So now you can just click it on and click it off. But it came, and I took it out of the box. It looked exactly like my picture, which was so cool. And I put it on, and I clicked the bands in, and we hadn't come up with the 8-inch and 7-inch band. So I only had the 10-inch band at that point. And so the starting position was a little too far forward. And I'm like, that's okay. But the triceps, everything else worked great. I'm like, this feels way better than I even thought it did. And it took us a year to come up with an even shorter band so that you can see where the starting position is.
Yeah, crazy.
And those inches took 12 months. But ultimately, now we've got it where, yeah, you can make them. And just to add weight, you click multiple. So these are 25. So the most people do is 100 pounds on each hand. Now, if you want to get jacked and you want to get real big, I mean, for hypertrophy, you literally still probably need to go lift some heavy plates. This is more functional strength. You can do over 100 pounds to 200 pounds in pressing, overhead presses, 600 pounds in legs, but it's not 1,400 pounds in legs. So it does have some limitations, but for 99% of people, the weight, the length, everything will be more than enough to get them where they want to be athletically or just health-wise and getting in shape.
You know, when I look at it, the first three things that come to my mind are amazing for warm-up, amazing for travel, but also and I don't have much experience in track and field, but when I think of stuff like those guys running with like parachutes behind them or that kind of stuff, I see it as kind of like that, like some sort of like accessory work to get those last percentages out of like you were saying, increasing someone's vertical jump or increasing someone's speed, getting those final percentages out of it.
Have you ever heard of LaShawn Merritt?
Is he a football player?
No. So LaShawn Merritt is a 3-time Olympic gold medalist in the 400-yard dash.
Okay.
He recently came onto our team since 2 weeks ago, sold thousands of dollars of these. When him and his running coach put it on, he explains what this system does by adding the resistance and the neuro connection to the muscle, the kinetic energy, how it pulls your heels straight up instead of back, and then you push down into the turf. He's like, it's the most unbelievable piece of equipment he's ever worn, and he's a 3-time Olympic gold medalist. And so they're actually going to a Nike event Wednesday, and he's going to be showing all the runners at Cornell University what we're doing here, because again, as he's putting it on, and for people's warm-ups, things they're doing before they're running, when you take it off, it almost has a weight. Remember when people used to wear the weighted ankle weights, the bags on their ankles?
Yep.
And you take them off, you felt like a feather. It almost has that effect, but a little bit differently. And again, it teaches you to keep proper form. If you don't really concentrate, it can pull you around. So it really makes you work on everything. And he's got it on tape where kids that have had the wrong form after wearing the vest and going through the protocols, take it off and start running with the proper form. So we're just scratching the surface on running, but we were told by one of those large athletic companies that our system could revolutionize running. So we're working at potential things, but again, wasn't necessarily why it was first invented, but when you start putting a really cool tool in different people's hands, everybody can see it for what they have. Golfers can see it for theirs. We've got hockey players because you can put the foot strap around the skate.
Oh, wow.
Now they can skate with it. You've got tennis players out there that are using it. I mean, football players, I've got cuffs. So these hands-free cuffs, let me see if I can grab one here real quick. There's 2 of them. So you put these on, and it goes around your forearm. So now you have hands free. So you could have resistance in all planes of motion, hands free. So you go to catch a ball, everything's under resistance. You go to throw the ball, you work on that draw. Offensive linemen, they go to punch, but they're also using their legs. They've got on the hands and the feet. You can come out of your position. So it's got functional strength. Swimmers can use it and do a dry land butterfly, different strokes to be able to build while they're not in water. It's really cool when you are the anchor that it allows a lot of different again, functional strength moves that you really don't get if you're just traditionally using plates or the machines that they have. You can run with this. My son can use it on the volleyball court. I'll give you another antidote. A girl at Norfolk State, their female top volleyball player, I don't have her name. She was wearing our system, and before practice, she would jump, and her head was right at the top of the net. She wore our system for 15, 20 minutes, just doing different drills, took it off, and her head was 3 inches above the net.
Wow.
And her coach said, we're going to buy these right on the spot. So then they start ordering them. The moment that they see it and start using it, the people and athletes want it. We have one of the top soccer players in high school that just tried it on. Him and his dad bought one yesterday. I won't say his name until we get him under agreement, but he has over 500,000 followers. And he's like, this is amazing for soccer because agility, the foot. You don't even have to have the top. You can just use the legs as you need to. And it's phenomenal to see where it's going, all the different angles and places that people are seeing benefit from it.
I think it was like in 2010, I live in California, and my wife went over the hill to, I think it was Palo Alto High School, and there was a girl there who had cerebral palsy, and she always wore a helmet in case she fell down. And she had been doing CrossFit for a year, and it freed her from her helmet.
That's kind of stuff that'll make you go, this is why you do it.
Yeah.
It literally can help people with all of those. My daughter, now she is so tight. So she's sitting out in the living room, but she's got the vest on because for her, when she sits there, her left side slumps. So her shoulder will go down and her hip kicks right. So I put her in the vest and I put one of the attachments on this shoulder and one on the other hip. So now she sits straight. She can use both hands. Her spine was starting to have forward curvature. And a lot of times people that sit in wheelchairs all day have spine issues.
Right.
But now we've got her in this anchor where she's sitting a lot more straight. And you can see the ribs starting to move back instead of continuing to go. Now they're starting to look like they're correcting. So non-surgical spine correction is what we're noticing with my daughter. I can't say it will happen for everybody, but even with her, it's now a positional correctional tool in a wheelchair that doesn't exist.
And things that people would argue their limitations, saying that, hey, because they told this girl that she would never get strong enough for it to be safe for her to move around without a helmet. So there's tons of people out there arguing the limitations of people who have these disabilities, and it's a fucking shame that people are doing that. But then here you are finding a way. If you put in the work, you can actually make corrections and improvements.
Who are we to ever say what somebody can or can't do?
Right.
I mean, just because you think they're limited, you're not them. And
right.
Things happen for a first time all the time. It doesn't happen until it happens. So to say somebody can or cannot do, the doctor told us when my daughter was born that she will never say mom, she'll never say dad, she'll never tell us she loves us. Her biggest words are, I love you. She talks to us, mom, dad, Aubie's her brother, Addie's her sister. So
what's your brother's name? What's your son's name?
My son's name is Auburn, like
Auburn.
University.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Auburn.
Because my son's name is Avi, but you said Aubie. Okay.
Yeah. So his name's Auburn, but we go by Aubie, A-U-B-Y. So Aubie's his nickname.
Hey, are you familiar with the practice of jelqing, Adam?
Jelqing? No.
No. That's good that you don't know it. Jelqing is a practice of pulling on your penis to stretch it repeatedly to make it longer. And Brady's wondering if there's a jelqing attachment where you could attach something.
Brady, we can work on something together, bro.
Maybe raise your arm.
Hey, if you need it, I'm sure we can find a way.
Listen, he may have the patents on this, but you could probably make it yourself, Brady. You could probably make your own accessory to the Caerus strength system that attaches to the penis. Wow. You guys I like it. We have a bunch of inventors in the
you know what I mean? Get the juices flowing. You never know what happens.
It's a very, very practical, very practical. Hey, so in the state, the company's it sounds like you guys are in a really good place. Like you have made it over some humps and you have product out there. I want to get to that. So you make the first prototype, and when does what happens after that? You make the first prototype. Do you have to get it in someone's hands and start
So I have been the ultimate salesperson for my own product. Now I've got a team. I've got some guys that are just and gals that are just absolutely amazing. And we've gotten it now in hospital systems. We've got one of the largest post-acute rehab companies taking it nationwide and over 1,600 locations in 47 states this year. But there's 3 different areas. One is the sports, fitness, workers' comp prevention tool.
Okay.
One is the medical space. That is a lumbar sacral orthotic. It's an actual back brace version, which is this. It looks the same, although there's an additional tightening strap. There's a thicker belt on the inside, and then it comes with actual inserts to make it a brace. So there's one for the back, there's 2 for the sides, and they go in to give structure. So for people with sciatica, or there's a ton of diagnosis, they can get the actual vest covered by insurance, and then they just have to pay $80 for the adaptability kit, and that's everything else. So then they have the world's most functional back brace. So most back braces are meant to put you in an isolated position. Ours puts you in that position, but allows functional movement and allows your muscles to strengthen while properly aligned. So our goal is to get you out of the back brace, and then you can use that going forward as your health, your wellness, your fitness tool. And then there's the third lane is the military and the VA. And we have got talks at the highest level. We're already going to be in all the VA facilities in the state of Florida. We have a meeting next week with the top people in the state of Virginia to look at covering all their veterans, as well as all the way up to the highest level of the federal government. Meetings are being set there.
Does Joe Biden have one of these? Does Joe Biden have one of these?
No, but it's been on some of his cabinet members.
Okay, you need to get him on the pelvic program, I think.
That or anything, just the stumbling around, it will help his gait. It'll help him stronger.
Do you have a rubber band? Do you have a rubber band that's light enough for Joe?
I do not know. The lightest he goes 3 pounds. I'm not sure, where his current
his fitness
is.
You finished the first prototype, you get it, you're super duper pleased, and then what happens from there? Do you have improvements on that one too? Or are you like,
yeah? So we start using it. I had several of them made after the first one, just so I can have a few different sizes, have our trainers start using them, and noticed obviously the thing with the carabiner that's tied up, and we knew that the first band was too long, so we were working for that first year after the prototype to get the band short enough on the shoulders so that you had a full range of motion.
And when you say shorter, you mean shorter, but doesn't increase the resistance. So it's
right.
It's a exploration into materials.
Right. So 10-inch band. Mm-hmm. The reason being is the stretch ratio on a rubber band, and the carabiners have length. So if you add 2 of those together and you're trying to do a press, you're already a little bit off of the shoulder. So for me, the distance, when I try to put my hand back to my shoulder, I want to get it as close as possible. And when it hooks here, the moment that you do it, you're going to start getting the resistance from the band.
Right.
Take it from 10 inches, and this one I think is down to 7. I mean, that was such a big deal because of the starting position. Imagine like 2 inches further out, you're not getting nearly what you had to do. So we have them down to the shortest ones. We patented the sizes anywhere from like 5 inches up to 8 inches.
Is it a different material in the shorter ones? The whatever the rubber is in there? No, same material.
It's the same. And all of them come with a safety sleeve on it. So eventually it takes a while, but some of these are going to snap. They're the least expensive part of our system. So to get 2 of the 5-inch, it's like $10, $9. But when it snaps, it'll make a noise. It'll go bink, and it just elongates. And it doesn't slap you, doesn't touch your skin.
Oh, because it stays in there. Right.
It's inside the sleeve, so it just elongates. You just replace it and put on a new one. And most of our people, if they break them, it's a sense of pride because they're like, man, we've used it this much, this consistently, that now we wore out the first bands. But again, they are made with rubber, so eventually you will have to upgrade or buy some more. Some people like to buy additional bands because you can put multiple 25 pounders on there. Our base set comes with 12 bands total, but then they can buy, different weights, different lengths, things that they need.
Hey, how long does it take to put on?
First time, the foot strap is the thing that takes people the longest the first time going around because it comes out and it just looks like material. We have videos that make it really easy to say the first time, just to put the vest on and hook that up and everything, a minute, 2 minutes at the most, the first time. The foot strap may take a few minutes. So in total, to get used to your system, you're looking at maybe a 5 to 8 minute learning curve. But once you get it on, you can put it on and be out the door in a minute, 2 minutes. I mean, as you put your shoe on, you just put the foot strap on. Same thing with that shoe. And then once you zip up, you just click in. And once you click, it's very, very quick to get in and out of. And here's the thing is we built it with pockets because I do what I call the Caerus walkout. So I'll be walking and I'll be doing a chest press going down the street, and then I'll let them sit. You could tuck them in the pockets. If you're going to run, you could take them off, and there's pockets so that they don't jiggle or around. Same thing if you want to do your legs. You can clip in and then tuck those in and go running. Then when you stop, click into your feet and go right in and start doing leg presses, start doing different mobilities. You can do weighted lunges, all the different things that you want to do with them. Disconnect them, tuck them back in, and start running again. You can also run in the system, and I would typically suggest you do it from the back anchor to the back of the heel, but you can also have different areas. It works on different foot positioning and core strength, but it's again, it's so versatile that it just depends on what you're trying to work. There are positions to be able to anchor into.
Can you press overhead?
You can. You can. And the one you do overhead, I would click on. So there's two clips underneath your armpits.
Yeah.
So that when you click underneath your armpits and you get in your handle, you're starting at the top of the shoulder. It's all for me. And again, being an athlete, it's all about starting position. And then when you can do overhead presses, everything. But I wouldn't do that from the top of the shoulder connection. I would do that from underneath the armpit.
So you could put that vest on, and let's say you're working on your shoulder to overhead strength, the press, the push press, and the push jerk, and you could connect the rubber bands when you want to and take them off when you want to, just quickly within seconds during your workout. But you just leave the vest on the whole time.
Yeah. And the vest is very comfortable.
Can you do push-ups? Can you do push-ups?
Yeah. In this video, they didn't show you can do weighted push-ups, diamond push-ups with it. You can do. He shows different like plank moves and different things you can do there to work the core differently. Like a lot of times, that move right there, you have a dumbbell, but you can go in any position. You're all engaged in the core, and we have also 85 to 100 different moves that we have just like this recorded to show people functionality. But really, it's all based on imagination. So that move right there, if you do it real fast, a squat to press, I mean, you do 10, 15 of those, and it's gonna jack your heart rate right up. You can.
We call that a thruster in CrossFit. You know what I mean? In the front rack, you squat, and then when you come up, you push up.
Yeah, and so you can just work on those all day. I mean, there's really no limit to the type of functional movements that you can do.
Hey, you know what I see? The CrossFitters doing, the elite CrossFitters, the high-end athletes, they have these cables and they're attached to a wall and they warm up with them. And I see them doing stuff like this.
Yep.
Like, I guess mobilizing, they call it, their shoulders. Like they're always doing stuff like before to warm up their shoulders. Yep. This is it. This guy gets it done.
Yeah. You can do front raises. You can do side raises. You could grab that heel. You could do external rotation. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can do for that. But the beautiful thing is you just don't need a wall. The problem with a lot of the things that you have out there is that they're attached in one place. The beautiful thing about you CrossFitters is that you're running and doing stuff. You're not just on a platform where one person at a time is doing this. You can have a bunch of people doing it, all traveling at one time, and being able to take it off of the wall. Don't do a TRX, like take it off of the tree. And because you're now the anchor and you're the one that's, again, stabilizing as well as creating that force, it goes everywhere with you. You can run with it, jump with it. You can take it with you in a suitcase. You can throw it in a bag, goes through the airport. I mean, very easily. So there's never an excuse now that there's not a gym. You can take this with you in your hotel room and get a wonderful workout. And most times, 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the most, especially if you're doing like compound moves, that's all you're going to need. You're going to be soaking wet. You're going to feel the difference. And the moment you click the vest to the feet, your whole body is under resistance. So you feel it from the moment you stand up. Your body is working. Even if you just stand there in it, your body and muscles are going to be working.
It's like it increases gravity.
And as they told us at the Naval Operating Base, a lot of times when people have injuries, engaging their core is the hardest thing to teach somebody. Well, with our vest, when you go to stand up with resistance, it is impossible to stand up without engaging your core. People don't even know that they're doing it. And but it forces you to learn to train to use that core to get up.
Yeah.
When you have the added resistance just from a normal sit to stand.
It's like it reminds me I used to train at a park, and we would put the weight on the on the barbells, and we'd take them out there, and you would walk out there with the barbell in the front rack, and even with like 135 pounds, you'd get the first thing to go would be your core. You'd start feeling it, like, because it's in the front, you would feel your core start to collapse, and you're like, holy, and then you'd put it down and you'd feel almost weightless.
Yep.
Yeah, crazy. I would have you got one of these in a CrossFitter's hands? Like, I want to see someone do burpees in these. I want to see someone do ring muscle ups in these. I'm so curious to see the movement that we do.
And I can send you some more videos. So we do have people that do burpees in them. I would love to. Mountain climbers. We have all sorts of different moves that you would love to see.
And I'd like to see someone like squat to depth and stuff. We're so particular about our range of motion in CrossFit. I would just love to see that. Do you have any of the elite athletes using it yet?
Yeah. So we've got Jaden Davis, who is a 5-star athlete. He's going to be the future Michigan quarterback. He was a two-time Gatorade Player of the Year for North Carolina.
Any CrossFitters?
At this point in time, I don't have any on our team. I've got, again, the Olympic gold medalists, soccer players. I had boxers in it. But I do not have any CrossFitters at this point, at least any that are recognizable. We have people that have done judo and different types of martial arts in it that love it, the functional strength in it, and yet still being able to move and not interfere with the correct motions. But CrossFit is obviously it's a area that we can see a very good marriage with. I just don't have videos of anybody necessarily doing it. I would open to it. Would love to be able to show it because we know what it would be able to do, but I do not have videos of that.
You have UFC fighters using it? I would think it would be a great fighting tool also.
We do. I just don't have the rights to use their names yet.
Gotcha.
But UFC is high. Think about some of the largest boxers in the entire world. We're sitting down with their teams. We just had it on one of the guys who was in the last championship fight versus Tank Davis.
Everybody the wrestler guy, Frank Morris or whatever.
No, well, so Gervonta Davis is a boxer, and he fought Frank Davis.
Yeah,
we went out and met with Frank, and
Frank is a physical specimen, and his footwork is like. Unfortunately, he lost, but his footwork is second to none. Maybe the best footwork in boxing.
And he loved it. He absolutely fell in love with the thing. He has one to train with, so he trained it with before the fight. So everybody that puts it on, again, even after doing all of his movements, he could feel faster. And so our goal as we're building this out, we'll have more and more athletes. And again, there are a couple very large athletic companies looking at potentially licensing this from us, and they have large stables of professional athletes in every area. The latest one that we found out was from a world one of the top surfers, and he thinks that this could be an unbelievable tool in the surfing world for pop-ups, for being able to get up off the ground, all the strength and things that you would need as a surfer to help people on dry land be able to get those functions down. So even surfing is a possibility with the system.
Obviously, people sweat like crazy in it, but what about going in a pool with it? I mean, I guess the carabiners would rust at some point. Has anyone gone?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't made for pools at this point. We do have versions and patents on some. Instead of having weighted bags, have floating blocks that you put in there. But I would be very careful doing anything with the legs in the pool, because again, as you're there, if you lose your balance, but upper body, strengthen and training while you're in the pool environment. We are having versions made where it's not metal, where there's different carabiners that won't rust to be able to have those. But it's not something that on this first version that we're out there marketing.
Hey, why there's so many different kinds of attachment points. I'm sure you've seen them all. It's a really actually I've known some bag makers. It is a fascinating market of things that attach, especially the military has some really trippy cool attachments. How do you end up deciding on carabiners?
For me, it was the easiest way right now to be able to have somebody take it on and off. I looked at all sorts of different attachments and things, and there's versions of this that the top one slides through, and then you only have the attachment at the bottom. Again, everything we're talking about, I've got drawings and already, have it in our filings. But I just went with the carabiner because most people are used to them; they know them. And when you have this on another piece of metal, you just click it and it goes on, and then it just clicks and comes off. So the only thing is the teeth. So we have there's other iterations that'll come that'll be different, but I won't speak on those till we get there.
Hey, I'm looking at this kit here, and with these, and you said that these were relatively inexpensive. The bands.
Yep.
So where do you get the other bands at?
What do you mean? We make all of them.
Like if I were to buy this, I would want to buy all the bands.
Yeah. So
you know what I
go
mean?
on,
Just
if you order the system, it comes with all of those. And then on the website, there's just individual. So you can order a set of 8-inch, 15-pound bands. So if you go down, you can just get the additional bands, the different sizes. The weighted bags look a little crazy. Our pictures are getting updated. And that foot strap that looks like a T there on the right, that's the thing that at the beginning will take a minute or two for you to get used to how to put it together. And then once you do, it's very easy from there.
What was the hardest part developing for this product? Was it the foot strap? Finding something that just
the hardest thing was getting the resistant band. Nobody's ever done it. And most people have never thought to use it with the body. So most people are anchoring it to something else and have long. You can get them as long as you want. You get them a football field long. It's getting them short and getting them to be in that stretch zone that you get 10,000. You get thousands of pulls on them. Really functional. But then to be able to attach it to a carabiner, which of the 8 inches takes up 4.5 inches of that space. So the rubber, it's very precise in how we had to get that all done to make it work. But that was our hardest. This was our hardest thing. Everything else, where to put, we can add different hoops. We've got different configurations, things that we can do. Again, and as we learn, there's other pieces that on future versions of the vest will have other accessories and things built into them. But the foot strap, the hardest thing is like putting it together. And it's really because it's a Y. So you have to unstrap it, click it through one, and then it goes over a shoe. And it's even hard for me to, without actually showing you how to do it. But the making of that is extremely easy. The hardest part to make was the band.
The company in Ohio that said that I think you said they're in Ohio that made the prototype. Do they make this? Do they make them now?
No. So they obviously we own the patents, we own everything. They're just a prototype company. They're not a commercial manufacturer. So then once you get a prototype, you get it work, then you got to start looking for manufacturing. And whether you want to do it here in the US, you want to start international, that was a whole decision that we wanted. First of all, we wanted everything to be done in only the US. But as you're a startup and you look at the cost in the US is 7 times.
Wow.
6-7 times what I can get it made for in Vietnam or China or anywhere else.
Right.
It's hard when you're starting out to not have something at least start overseas, which is what we did. And we've now got U.S. manufacturers that can make it because we're now listed with the U.S. military. So underneath their ECAT system, their DAPA system, all this stuff, we have it where it's BAA compliant. So we have a U.S. manufacturer now. It's much more expensive, but then you have to go. But yeah, you're looking around, and I was fortunate enough to have people in my circle that had a manufacturer that was in China that did cut and sew, that is for us trustworthy, and they've been an amazing partner. They've developed stuff. They've opened up manufacturing in Vietnam. That they're going to open manufacturing in the Philippines. To help us open it here if we want to. But finding a manufacturer, then getting them to come up with their process of putting it all together, then getting the samples made, making all the adjustments, coming up. And we just started with black because we have so many different sizes, because size is key. You want to make sure you have one that's snug. We have all sorts of different SKUs. Then I had to learn about international freight brokering and get our customs ID number, making sure that we can have everything shipped over. Then when it gets to port, we got pack and shipping companies that we now have that get our product. They pack and fill as the orders come through. I mean, from start to end, there's so many things, from going from having an idea to actually going through, making it, testing it, getting buy-in. And I think that's one of the things I'm most proud of myself and my team for, is we've done what 99.999% of inventors cannot do, is commercially bring a product to market and be successful. Most people have a great idea, and some people can get to a product. Very few people can sell it, and then very few people have the ability to grow it at a scale. And with the commercial partners and things that we're already in with, we know it's going to be on hundreds of thousands of patients, if not millions of patients, in the next couple of years, within the next couple of years, just off the contracts and people that we're working with already. And again, our goal is just to change lives. Our goal is to make people healthier and happier. So anything we can do and you're, like you said, with the CrossFitters, a little bit of a game changer, be able to exercise, be able to train in a whole different way, add resistance, add functional training, all the way to the people that are trying to get back to function, that have gotten injuries or are in the hospital.
Hey, does that code work down there? I just know, order your own Caerus strength trainer, use promo code Fitness Coach Nino.
So that's my guy Nino. So if you buy it, yes, you can use that. What I was going to do, and I didn't get it before this, I can have a code made, and I can give you what the code will be. We can do Savan20,
okay,
with a capital S, Savan20, and that'll be a 20% off coupon.
But this guy, how about, I don't mean to fuck your shit up, but they could use this guy's code and get 25% off.
Oh, there you go. Well, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's our original trainer, so I didn't realize that he had that. But yeah,
I don't know if that code still works. Maybe it's old.
Or if it does work, go ahead and use it. Like for us,
yeah.
Or we can do Savan 25, because usually we only do 20. But we can do 25.
Okay,
it's fine with us, and that way it's you. So capital SEVAN, and just do 25, and I will have that code up and running by the end of the day, and we'll let that stay up there for 30 days. So if
you're
anybody
awesome.
wants it.
That's really cool. SEVAN 20, capital S. Hey, business-wise speaking, as you're going through all this, did you see stuff that's in place, laws in place that are just completely, anything that stands out to you that's just completely ridiculous, that impedes the growth of small business or medium-sized business in the United States and steps on the dick of the entrepreneur?
Yeah, I'll give you one. The federal government, they fuck everything up.
Tell me.
So Medicare will not, if you have anything that says exercise on it.
How about DiCaprio 25? Will that get you anything? Get you a blowjob, Jake. Punch it in.
Nice. So what was I just saying?
Federal. I know blowjob always throws the subject off. The federal government impeding the growth of entrepreneurs.
So there's a rule in the federal government that Medicare and Medicaid will not cover anything that has to do with exercise. They won't do it. If it's exercise equipment, they'll code it. It's non-reimbursable. Doesn't matter. They are so backwards in their thought that they are more reactive and do not want to be proactive on anything that can make their people healthy or keep their people healthy. They only will pay for things that will treat somebody after they've got an issue. So for us, the reason
they treat symptoms, not causes. They've been captured by pharma, completely 100% captured by pharma. Another agency just completely captured.
Our regular system should be covered by all of the medical benefits that we're seeing, which we'll go back, and it's just a much longer process to get your own unique, what's called a HCPCS code. But instead of doing that, again, we made a back brace version where when the person gets the back brace, it's literally the vest and the 5 inserts for the back brace. If they want to make it a Caerus strength trainer, they buy an adaptability kit for the $80. So then it only costs $80 for them to get a full system once they have the back brace, again, which is covered by insurance. But we found a way for at least a large portion of the population that has at least one or more of the diagnosis that's covered by the code. If they have a diagnosis where it's legitimate and they need a brace, why would you get one that's static that after 6 weeks you throw away, or one that is just as good, if not better in quality, but then the person can use it going forward when they don't need the brace, they can take the inserts out. And because they're buying the adaptability kit without a pocket money, it doesn't affect the Medicare pricing because they're using their own money to turn it into something else.
Hey, the government subsidizes sugar, but gym memberships aren't tax deductible.
It's ridiculous.
I know it's fucking crazy. It is absolutely wild. Hey, so these weren't available during the lockdown. This is when you invented.
This is when I invented. Yeah, this is when I had the idea.
Can you imagine if this would have been available? I have some friends who sell fitness equipment, and they made more money than God during COVID.
Yeah, I mean, think about Peloton.
Yeah,
Peloton exploded. And the thing is not to talk about any specific product, but they didn't innovate. So there's only so much, and they had unbelievable content. Everybody loved it. But I know more people now that want to get rid of it or don't use their Peloton anymore. Some people love it. And I'm going to say, people love different forms of exercise, and sometimes they're going to love things and they're not. And Peloton did a great thing. But you're right. During the pandemic, all the home gym equipment, if you were in that space and you had product, you were making money.
Look at this. When I type in Peloton news, this is the first article that comes up. Peloton founder John Foley has cycled through his second New York property deal in as many years. A little less than 1 year after moving his East Hampton estate, Foley has made an off-market deal to sell his Manhattan townhouse for $35.5 million. That's double what he bought it for in 2018.
Yeah, but their stock, man, their stock's taking a beating ever.
Yeah, yeah, and that's probably maybe why he's selling.
It could be, and literally now that we're coming to market, just can you imagine their trainers, everything that they do, but instead of strength having to jump off the bike, create the only cycling solution that has onboard real strength training that are not dumbbells, that are more forgiving than free weights, but more functional in a seated position than anything that is currently on the market.
Hey, has your equipment killed anybody yet?
No.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a good deal.
I'm just someone in the comments. I guess the Peloton bike. This isn't funny. Killed a 6-year-old kid. Jeez, trapped in. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. And like you said, your bands are encased in that coating, so if they snap, it's nothing. It all stays internally.
Yep, it stays in. It won't. So again, a lot of the stuff you see online with the naked bands, where they're just the rubber, and they snap. That's how people put their eye out. I mean, there's all sorts of things that can happen there. And this, again, if it snaps, there's no recoil. It's all within the sleeve, so it doesn't do anything. It snaps, the sleeve lengthens out, and then you just replace it.
Hey, Adam, would you say that, where would you say the company's at? It seems like it's pretty fast. Caerus, are you guys are you really on getting some crazy momentum right now?
Yes, we are. Let's say we have a trajectory right now. So we have multiple college teams, football teams purchasing this. We've got several hospital systems in each of the lanes. We're set up that within the next 24 months, we should have.
I lost you. You froze.
You lost me?
Is that my fault or your fault?
I think it's you because I'm still on. Can you see me?
Oh, you froze. Was that me or you?
I think it was you. I could hear you. I'm not sure.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so sorry. So your hospitals, go on.
Our company should be at well above a 10-figure value in the next 24 months.
Wow, congratulations. That's
based
wild.
on the contracts that we've already signed in the assisted living, independent long-term care facilities. Again, just across the board on what we're working with. But again, our goal, it's how are we helping? And just so you know, the truth of the matter is the majority of the money that we end up making, at least that I make, our whole plan is to give back. So I've got a plan to make a special needs amusement park where kids with wheelchairs can get in it and go, because my daughter can't. We're going to start a school for special needs kids after high school so they have something that they can go do and be productive. Like, our whole goal is to change people's lives. Our equipment does it in different ways for different people. But even with the money and the things that our company makes are going to be given back to things. Again, my daughter's first bike was $2,500 just to get her something. Most people's first bike's $25 to $50. So people with disabilities get hit with a lot of different costs. So our goal is to really change lives and help as many people as we can.
You know what else I was just thinking is it would be interesting to see people do this with balance activities too. Like, I'd be curious to see, like, let's say you're a slackliner. That's a really hard activity, but there's people who've mastered that. And then you put this thing on and you get on the slack line, and now you have a whole nother component. You can really, God, this is really cool. Good job, dude.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Did you and you said you told your wife you knew. What stood out from this invention as opposed to your other ideas?
So the other ideas I had were more limited. One had to do with babies. Not everybody's a baby. Certain things. So somewhere in the automotive industry, I've got ideas that still haven't seen in automobiles that I think would be a huge benefit. But this had application for everybody. It doesn't matter. Like, health and fitness is obviously for anyone. And just depending on the size, I knew, if you're a disadvantaged, broke child or family that can't make it to a gym or can't do certain things, again, if we can get it, we can make it affordable. So we have it where they can finance it. But the kids versions we make less expensive because they're smaller and kids are going to grow. So if people need to do more, we make them less expensive. But we can reach people where they're at. This whole thing is they don't have to travel. That people don't have to get up. So if my daughter went to the gym, we would have to put her in a handicapped transport van, take her, get her off the van, get her into the gym. Again, the machines would be worthless for her. But even if she had to adapt to that, then they had to get back in the van, be transported back home. There is so much non-exercise activity that has to go on before getting to the activity that a lot of times that's a burden. People don't want to make. So I knew it was going to be big because it eliminates a lot of the obstacles and excuses. I could have been sitting here this whole interview and just been doing chest press. I could be working out the whole time, where in between calls, you can get a workout in, take it off, go to lunch, or if you want to do a walk-in lunch and then take it off. It's so accessible, but you don't have to make time to even go to a gym to make sure you're getting strength training because it goes with you. And then I travel a lot. So knowing that there's not a lot of good hotel gyms, and if there are, a lot of people don't use them, but if you could take this solution with you, and it all just started adding up to not only is the product and what the solution can do great, but the accessibility, the transportability, if that's the word, but to be able to take it wherever is really a big advantage of this as well.
It's crazy cool. It's hypnotizing. I keep just watching this guy do these movements and thinking of all the different movements that can be done with it.
So you see him going that band in between the feet. You can work on lateral shuffles. You can work on all sorts of things. If you have somebody that's working on a hip and you clip those 2 feet together and stand by a chair, they can do the lateral raise, a front raise, a straight leg, posterior raise. They can do circles, so they can really work the function of the hip and still be able to hold on to things. So,
hey, what about pants? Have you ever, I'm sure you have, considered making pants with carabiners? Does that?
We do, but at the same point in time, or even doing different forms of it.
Yeah.
For us to get a majority of the population in, not everybody's going to be able, especially if they're tight. There's different size legs. You get into sizing and fitting there.
Right.
But then you got to make it easy, because for us to help people in a hospital condition to be able to slide a tight pair of pants up, as opposed to putting one arm in, sitting them up, kind of pulling it and getting them while they're laying down, which is what I do with my daughter. Pants are tough. Now there's going to be specialty items. We've got some other things coming out. A shorty, which has like shorts, but it goes down a little bit further with different functionalities in them. But for the the main population, we have not made pants.
Yeah,
I do
if
have
it took
knee
me more than
sleeves.
10 minutes to put on, I wouldn't do it.
Right, and that's it. It should
And I
only
totally
take
hear
a
you.
minute or two.
Yeah, that's why a vest is just like you just put it on, everyone
Yep.
knows.
Boop, boop.
Yep.
And then we have a knee sleeve, so that comes. You see the
And
foot
you don't
attachment.
have to put on the shoe stuff, or do you? Does it? Could you just wear the vest and just use the top ones, or you need to have the shoes on?
You can use whatever you want. So if you don't want to do legs,
Yeah.
I have some people that just love the upper body. Some people that only love the legs. You can do any combination thereof. The system works without the leg bands. You can just imagine detaching those from your feet, but you still have all the connection points around. So you don't have to. You can wear what you want and not what you don't. So it just depends on what you're trying to work.
The feet doesn't keep the keep the vest on in order to force you to use the top bands.
No.
Okay.
No, you can put them on there and it'll help stabilize. So if you're doing overhead presses, it's tight. It might slide a little bit. It's not like it goes up a lot. But if you're anchored to your feet, there's no movement at all. So you can do it with upper body movements. You don't need to.
And you
it's
could
built to be snug and secure so it does not move.
And vice versa. You could just attach the bottom and not do the top.
Correct. And we have a knee sleeve that is not shown there that, again, has attachment points all over the place. So there's different moves you can do there. You see all these people doing like the glute machines or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, you can attach these from your feet to your hip and go at the end of the bench and do your hip thrust. And you're doing the exact same thing as those machines that you're paying for just that one activity and one exercise. And you can take it anywhere. You don't have to be at home on your machine to do it. It goes with you.
Oh, so the equivalent to you do have the equivalent to pants. I mean, like you said, you have a thigh strap.
Yeah, so the thigh strap helps. The reason I built the thigh strap originally is I'm thinking about people when they're sitting down. And when you sit down, your hands are so close to your hips. When you stand up, it's a little different. But when you're sitting down, so if you have a thigh strap and you put your hands in them,
yeah,
your arms are straight. From there, you can do bicep curls. You can do seated shoulder raises and front raises from them, but it at least gives you another place to anchor from and to be able to do a bicep curl anchored to a thigh. So even if people are in a hospital bed and you just put that on them, they could be laying back flat and sitting there doing biceps. They could be laying there doing triceps, their chest, basically working all the muscles other than if there's a place. So they say they have knee surgery on their left knee. If they work their right leg out, and that left knee is stable, they still get 65% of the transitional benefit, even just being the stable and not moving limb. So they're going to strengthen, but they're also not going to let their other muscles atrophy while they're in bed. And our whole goal is to reduce length of stay to get people back up and functioning sooner.
Hey, let me ask you this. God, I'm a fucking genius. You're going to want to hire me after this. What about using it for assisted pull-ups?
Yeah.
So if you're on the pull-up bar and you use a short strap, it assist. If someone doesn't have a pull-up yet, they can use it to assist themselves in the pull-up.
100%. Now the only thing you have is the handle that would be there that you're also gripping. But I've got a version of a handle that we've got patented that the circle part will clip off and it's a flat band on your hand.
Yeah.
So that when you're gripping anything, it's flat. But yes, that will work the same way is because, yes, if you're elongating it, it's going to want to help. It's going to come back to the position. So, yeah, you can actually put them on there and it will help you assisted. Yeah, it can help with assisted pull-ups for sure.
Has anyone done the? There's this, and now I'm getting really out there. Your product's amazing. I don't mean to like keep adding stuff to it, but I've heard that if you that athletes that attach bands to themselves and jump, and you know that you'll see them jumping up really high to where they're like 6-7 feet off the ground, and then when they jump after, and then it kind of conditions them to be able to jump that high, and then they take those bands off. It actually makes jumping easier, not harder. It's the opposite of this. I'm guessing that someone could also adapt this for that you could strap this. I mean, I'm not saying you recommend it.
I'm sure they could because the vest is very well made.
Yeah.
I will say the explosiveness on the up as opposed, and they both could work. But like I said, we've seen it on our side going from the strength side. But yes, technically our vest is good enough that you could strap on if you had one of those systems to be able to do that. But the beautiful thing about ours is when you're strapping to something else, you're in a isolated area.
Right.
So only one person at a time, only one person can do it, as opposed to ours where you're doing it. You can have a whole team you can have 65 guys out there doing the same moves, the same time, the same drills, jumping, or they could be playing with these on, warming up, take them off, and just watch and just see what the increase is. And we're talking as soon as you take it off. And it's more than one guy. So if you have a basketball team, it's cool to watch one guy do it there. But imagine your whole team warming up for 15 minutes, taking them off, and now they're flying around. You'll be able to see instantaneous results with a wide variety of people all at one time.
Hey, congratulations. I'd love to, if there's any athletes that you'd ever like to introduce me to, we love having athletes on the show. I really appreciate you coming on here. Congratulations on, you're doing the American dream. I fucking love that.
I appreciate it.
And it's great to meet you, Adam. It's really cool.
Very nice to meet you. And again, I will get that code up and active today. So Savon 25% off.
Okay, cool.
Just so your listening audience, if they want to buy it, it'll bring it down a couple $100. So
any advice on sizing? What size? Because I know that's gonna. It's a.
So there's the size chart, but the way that I do it is whatever t-shirt size that you wear that is snug, something that fits underneath. So again, if you're wearing an extra large but you're a medium, it's not going to work. But if you know what your undershirt size is, that's typically a great.
So I'm a medium, but I would never wear a medium because I don't want anyone to count my rolls. So I would wear, but in this, I would get a medium.
Yes, because the one beautiful thing about our system is there's two side panels that stretch. So as you get it in, it's meant to conform, and then it's got tightening straps all the way around. So yeah, you're actually, if you would not be worried about that in this vest. When you put it on, anybody with rolls or anything, the way that it fits and it makes you feel, it's almost like a nice compression hug. So you want it there, but I would go buy
girdle too. The Caerus system is also a girdle.
Actually, a waist trainer inside. We have the belt, so a waist trainer is coming because there's a lot of people that wear those. But anyway, you and I just created 18 different products right now.
Awesome. Hey, I really appreciate you. Congratulations. You're welcome back anytime. I love sharing stuff like this. It's such a great story. The growth, the fact that you're helping people, the origin story with your daughter. Thanks for coming on, Adam.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, dude. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Ciao. Adam Adkins. Wow, crazy. I sold one to myself on accident. I'd buy one for my kids before I bought one for myself. Half the price for the kids model. Trainer Premier base model. I want to see James Sprague in one of these. Extra small, and you can share it with your kids. Yeah, fair enough. Noodles. Buy one. But I'll buy three. I'm filthy rich. Why would I buy just one? I'll buy three different sizes, and then throw two away in the trash. Pour it out for my dead homies. So I'm watching that show. I'm watching that show, The Boys. I'm tempted just to stop. Is anyone else watching it? Is Homelander supposed to be Trump? Is that what they're doing? With like the protesting people and the signs and the colors, and I heard someone yell in the show, libtards. It was during a protest and someone yelled libtard. Actually, my wife heard it, and I rewound it and listened to it again, and yep, it was very faint. Now I've heard it twice in the show. Enough with the boys. I'd rather talk about Bryce or Sporty Beth at this point. Adam Blakesley, quit reading into it so much. Justin Son, a great show. How about when that little guy climbs in the dude's anus and then is massaging his colon, and then he's like, please, please. The guy's begging him, please, to the prostate, to the prostate. But the funniest part is this chick. For those of you who haven't seen the show, like one of the premises of the show is the enslavement that all the superheroes have to social media. And this is what's so funny. The boys, Aaron Moriarty, Cottonmouth. The boy, by the way, last night I slept all the way through the night and didn't get up once. Like, didn't toss and turn, nothing. It was crazy. That does not happen very often. I went to bed at 10:30 and woke up at 6. Didn't wake up. No tossing, turning, no shoulder pain, no back pain. Crazy. The boys, Aaron Moriarty, who plays Starlight, has faced allegations of having had plastic surgery in recent years. But how has she responded to the backlash? It's just all crazy talk. Some have suggested the actress has undergone nose, jaw, and eyelid reshaping surgery, facial fat removal, and breast augmentation. The topic of plastic surgery has long been a controversial one, especially among celebrities. Many share the belief an augmented appearance may give a false image of beauty or provide a bad example to young girls. Jesus, I feel like anytime I leave the house, I see someone who's augmented. And I don't even live in LA. Speaking on the Megyn Kelly show, the titular host described how Erin Moriarty had once been a nice, beautiful, natural gal. I agree. And then I just started season 4 yesterday, and yeah, something's up with her. Something's up with her face. I didn't even recognize the black guy, Milkmaid or whatever his name is. I guess he lost a bunch of weight. Expressing shock that the image was not AI-generated face and adding she's done this to herself. Kelly went, which is crazy because I feel like if it's the most conservative circles, like look at the irony of this. Libtards chop their penises off their kids and punch holes in their face, but conservatives get fucking huge fake titties and plastic surgery and Botox. I truly think that the trans movement has been inspired by conservatives, like the steroidal growth of it, because of all the augmentation they do. Like when you think of plastic surgery, don't you just think of just like crazy conservative people? No, I do. Speaking on the Megyn Kelly, and then when I think of septum rings, I think of libtards. Speaking on the Megyn Kelly show, the titular, I think of religious fanatics, actually. And what do I mean by religious fanatics? I think like they use the word of God to hate people. No, that's not hormones. Yeah, when I think of hormone replacement, testosterone, all that stuff, I think of that as like the right's septum ring. I do. Janelle Houston, I know no one who's done plastic surgery. Well, yeah, because you live 35 miles down a dirt road in Alabama. Of course you don't. You don't even know anybody. What are you talking about, Janelle? Uh-oh, clock. He's been pulled back into the lib vortex. You had another comment in here. Listen, you think I'm wrong? What do you think the ratio is of libtards to conservatives with breast augmentation? titties. My wife's got fake boobies. Is she conservative? Send me a photo. I don't believe you. Yeah, face fillers, all that. I'm guessing that's all conservative people. I mean, I don't see it much in my town. But when I go to like, I guess there's some like weird exceptions to that, right? I mean, you go to L.A., it's the fucking libtard hive, and like everyone there is all fucked up. Maybe I'm off. God, isn't that crazy? Most people I know I have Botox at the minimum. Imagine injecting botulism into your face. Okay. Kelly went as far as to say Moriarty's supposedly altered appearance, going as far as to say a sign of mental illness. Yeah, well, she's definitely mentally ill, unfortunately, because like if you're getting off Instagram because it's bothering you, you're mentally ill. Like you should just get off because it's a waste of time or because you don't want to be on it anymore. She's got the Kim Kardashian lips. She's made her nose so skinny it looks like a pencil now. I find it like a sign of mental illness, 100%. The comments prompted Moriarty. I mean, I'll define mental illness so Pat Lang doesn't fucking get his panties in a twist. Just not being aware of what thoughts you're reacting to on a level that's so. That's why tattoos too and piercings. Reacting to thoughts that you're not aware of that cause alteration to your body. Something's wrong with you. The comments prompted Moriarty to announce she was taking an extensive, if not permanent, break from Instagram in January 2024 with an emotional and since deleted post. This is something I truly never anticipated writing. Oh, cool. So your life has something you didn't anticipate? Oh, cool. Exciting. Imagine having a life where you can anticipate everything. We're all subject to levels of bullying throughout our lives, but I'm horrified. There's the victim game, blaming. And I felt that I deserved to take a second to address these things. Okay. How about you just address them yourself and get over them, transcend them? To receive a message about a disgustingly false, counterproductive to the degree of being ironically misogynistic video of Megyn Kelly commenting on the manner. Misogynistic? Doesn't that mean you hate women? It sounds like the opposite to me, that Megyn Kelly's standing up for women. Pat Lang, that's not mental illness, that's stupidity. Like if you want to get a haircut, fair Pat, you want to get a haircut, you look in the mirror, like one of my kids will be like, hey man, my hair's in my eyes, I got to cut it. And I'm like, what do you care if it's in your eyes? And they'll be like, well, it's bothering me because I'm trying to do this and it's in my eyes. And I'm like, okay. She also stated how Megyn Kelly's comments are a primary example of such harassment. Harassment? Imagine being on a show where your character has 190 on Prime, where your character has 193 million Instagram followers, and now you're concerned about harassment. That would be like if you complained that you were pulled over at a alcohol checkpoint on 4th of July. That she has received regarding the plastic surgery allegations. I'm horrified by the reaction, the reductive assumptions, mentally ill. Don't use that word reductive. No one knows what it means. No one cares what it means. And the aforementioned video that is a primary example of such harassment. Don't use harassment. It's broken my heart. You've broken my heart. Blaming, not taking personal responsibility, giving power away. Do you want to tell me? You want me to tell you who fucking harasses? My gophers fucking harass me. My gophers and I have a major fucking conflict in the yard. Major. They're harassing my plants, which I have a deep attachment to. They're going under the ground and eating their roots. Yeah, I got fucking gophers. Although I saw one dead in the yard yesterday, which is awesome. I think my neighbor's cat killed it. I've seen a dead gopher, a dead squirrel, and then my son shot a gopher in the yard, which is pretty cool. Better him than me. I would have cried. Moriarty spoke online bullying in June 2024 with the New York Times shit rag. Around the time of The Boys season 4 premiere. The actress had explained how while she was once heartbroken by the comment, she is now galvanized. Dude, she's like her real character. She's like her real character who's like, she's like fucking Homelander, who's like devastated. The character that's like the pathetic character in the show is the one that gets upset and like starts twitching and losing his shit when his ratings go down. She's like him. This is fucking nuts. It's like TV came to life. It reminds me of when Snoop Dogg made that song, Murder Was the Case. And then later he got charged for killing someone. The Starlight actress improved mindset may help. The Starlight actress improved mindset may help explain why she has since removed her post reacting to Kelly's comments and returned to social media use. Dr. Gary Linkoff, who's a licensed professional in the U.S. and creates related online content, published a plastic surgery analysis on Moriarty on YouTube. In the video, Linkoff examined pictures of Moriarty through the years and noted the natural changes along with some introduced of Botox to the forehead around the age of 27, just 2 years ago. He also pointed out a smoother dorsum or bridge to her nose in more recent pictures, suggesting she may have had some tip work done. Turning attention to images around age 28, Linkoff noted some signs of the upper blepharoplasty, the removal of excessive fat skin from the eyelids. She did go from being very attractive to weird looking. Oh shit! And she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes in her left ear. As Pat Lang would say, stupid. But regardless of what do you think of all that, like the fact that it's affecting her is nuts. I can't wait for my wife to hear this. This is fucking nuts. As a matter of fact, I'm going to call her right now. I can't even believe this is real. This is good. This is so good. Love this shit. It's not even debatable. What's not debatable? Sevon needs that for what? Huh? Sevon needs that for his extra foreskin. Someone accused me of not really having a big penis, but just having too much extra foreskin once. Hello, user Series. Damn. Fuck. All right, fine. Maybe she'll call back. She's probably sleeping. Oh, the phone's not even hooking up this morning. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this chick needs CrossFit for sure. God damn, she's so skinny. Sometimes in the shots, I see her shoulders coming forward, and I see like that eating disorder, emaciated look in her. Pinner superhero. Wild. And then the French dude in I hate to say it, but in just pure French stereotypical fashion has come out. He now takes it in the dumper. Sebon, do you moisturize your scrotum and anus after shaving them? Shaving them? What the fuck? I do not shave my anus. This should be a Dr. Seuss book. I do not shave my scrotum. That's disgusting. I told you, when there's so much hair on there that I can grab a handful, I grab a handful and cut it off. I do like this. I do want to say this about season 4 of The Boys. There's some really funny shit. Homelander is has gray pubes and he's panicking because he's getting older. And he's like one of the evil characters in the movie, in the show. Yeah, like once every 6 months, I'll just take a handful of pubes, and I have these crazy like Home Depot scissors in the garage that can cut through anything. I'll just grab a handful and snip. And then I try to make it all the way over to the trash can without any sprinkling down. No, does Haley shave for me? No. Spencer, last question about my balls, Spencer. But I will answer this. I have a very small. I don't have big balls. They're small. There's no. Hey.
Hey. Do you hear that sound?
The sound of kids doing Kumon. Competing.
I was opening the blinds.
Competing with our Japanese counterparts.
Yes.
Those damn Japanese.
It's a race.
Hey, you know in the show that we're watching, The Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how like Homelander's like so like he's scared of Starlight's Instagram followers.
Yes.
And how he's like super concerned about like what the public thinks about him and the ratings.
Yes.
And would you say one of the premises of the show are the part that's like most shocking about the show is this component that they kind of like remind you of like CrossFit Games athletes or something, or just people in general who are like, I shouldn't even blame CrossFit athletes, but this whole era or genre of people that we're not even familiar with, who are just like driven and social media driven, like just they're obsessed with social media, right?
Yeah, which is so foreign to me, really. I was thinking about that.
That's
like just how I can't relate at all. And is this what our kids are going to grow up with? Or is there like, is this everybody now? Or is this just like
yes,
one facet of society that,
no, it's it's everybody. Hey, the Starlight character in real life,
so weird.
Her name, this Erin Moriarty chick, she had a social media breakdown. She had to get off of social media in real life.
Oh, geez.
She is Homelander, but in real life. Someone comment. Remember, you know how this season her face looks different. Yeah, she had to get off.
Yeah.
And she says she's complaining that she's being harassed, and there's been a reductive, misogynistic attack on her because people are speculating that she got plastic surgery, and so she's heartbroken. That's her word, and she got off of social media.
Heartbroken. Oh my gosh, it's scary.
We're real
too
life.
Fragile to. I know. Humans are too fragile to handle all this.
Not me. Not me.
I know. Most humans.
Not me. Not me. I'm
get to vomit every single thought you think.
I'm the toughest man you know. That's why you married me. I'm a bad motherfucker.
Except when you're sick. I'm kidding.
All right.
How are you feeling? I'm kidding.
Better. I slept all the way through the night last night. I didn't wake up once.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
You saw Avi came into the bed, into the room last night in the middle of the night. I didn't even hear him come in there. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, not me.
And he knew where I heard him, but he went right to sleep.
And he didn't climb in bed next to me. It worked.
Right. It works.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, I'll send you a link to the article. I can't. It's almost
so
like
sad.
It's almost like satire that the Starlight character in real life got broken by social media.
Right. Well, she clearly does Botox or something, but
yeah, but I don't care if she does it, but if she's gonna do
I know that wasn't your point.
Right, but
I know that wasn't your point.
But if she's gonna do it, like just accept the criticism. Just accept it. Like it's cool.
Stand behind it.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna get back to these guys.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Wow, she acted like she didn't even want to be on the show. What the fuck's her problem? It's the greatest. That's the greatest guy. I always thought this was the highlight of her day when I talked. She seemed like in a little bit of a rush there, didn't she? I'm gonna get my ear pierced today. Heidi, I wish this show didn't start talking about TV shows. For fuck's sake, we don't have time to watch TV because we're watching your podcast. I know. I can't wait till I'm done watching it. I'm so close. I read that there's only going to be 5 seasons. I promise I'll never watch TV again unless it's boys fighting in their underwear. Starlight had a problem on social media. This is the president of the large Jesus criminy. My tongue is like sticking to the roof of my mouth. What is going on? This is the president of you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get a fucking listen, I'll be right back. I'm going to get a fit aid. That's actually is exactly what I'm gonna fucking do. Okay. I'll be right back.
My name's Josué Bocanegra. I'm originally from Mexico. I'm 27 and I go to Salty Life CrossFit. When I came in here, I was 195, almost 200 pounds, and I had never been that heavy, like ever. And then I got in here, started eating well. We have the consistency is key. That's always, I don't know, ever since I heard it here, it was always in my head. And it didn't just apply to the gym, it applied to my eating habits, to my workouts, to even just work, school. Consistency is key. So I started eating healthier, started avoiding sugars, I started avoiding candy because I love candy. I try to avoid it as much as possible, and I'm now 169 pounds this morning actually. And I don't feel skinny either. It's I'm actually fit, which is awesome, I think it's the most fit I've ever been in my entire life, regardless of playing soccer in high school. Actually trying for a while to get my dad in here because he struggled with obesity throughout his life. What I tell him all the time is you gotta get in here because it's not just the gym. It's not just you get in there and people may be just judging you for what you're doing. No, it's a community. It's somewhere that'll help you actually improve and not just lose weight and actually get strong and actually get fit. And it's so much more than a gym. That's what I tell him.
I didn't think I was going to make it back in time. Oh, I didn't even get splatter on my keyboard. I need to drink this Fit Aid slow, just for when I have cotton mouth. This is the president of Betsy Pringle. What the fuck is this chick's name? Fucking psycho. Largest teachers union in the country. 3 million. She represents 3 million people. Okay. Leader of the nation's largest teachers union. Matthew Boudreau's Instagram account. I did some research on this lady this morning. This is some scary shit, people. Not this. What I'm going to show you, this is just going to show you. This is just the top, the frosting on the cake. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Here we go.
Hey, delegates, we can do this work. We must do this work. We get to do this work. We will do this work because our students are depending on us to win all the things. NEA, we have to win all the things, all the things, all the things. Our colleagues are depending on us to win all the things. Keep going, NEA. To preserve our democracy, we must win all the things. Delegates, we won't go back. We will keep going forward because we are the NEA. We are the NEA. We are the NEA. And that's what we do.
Holy shit. What did she do? What did she just say? Did she just give the I Have a Dream speech by Martin Luther King? What the fuck did she just say? Wait till you see this chick's wiki page. So this is the person controlling the teachers Look it, you should never do that on stage. You know that photo of Justin Medeiros? It's on one of the he looks like a gorilla on one of the movie posters. He's like screaming. It's like she's having a fucking like, dude, the only person who should do that is if you're crossing the finish line or like if someone's butt fucking you. Look at that. She did that pose on stage. This is a guy who tells you how to trim pubic hair with a handful with Home Depot scissors, and even this is too much for me. Judy Reed, NEA largest proponent to keep school closed during the pandemic, of course. This is fucking nuts. This is fucking nuts. There's a video going around that shows a guy that basically they're claiming that she stole that speech from the Office, that there was a joke speech in the Office, and this is identical to it. That TV show, The Office. I want to pull up this chick's wiki page and read to you. I think the opening line in it is that she's a social justice warrior. What the fuck's her name? Betsy. Teacher union president mocked for channeling the Office character Dwight Schrute in totally unhinged speech. Isn't that what you guys call me? Unhinged? Oh, Becky Pringle. How did this chick get control of our kids? Let me see if I can find her wiki page. You're gonna love the opening line. Oh, let's see. How much money does she make? Oh, she makes $500,000 a year. She makes $495,000 a year being head of the teachers union. Crazy that this lady's given any power over anything to do with our kids. Born in 1955 as an American teacher and labor union leader, she's the president of a 3 million member National Education Association, the largest professional employee organization and labor union in the United States. She's from Philadelphia, complete shithole. Never met anyone nice from Philly. Sorry, those of you from Philly. She received a BS from University of Pittsburgh and a master's degree in education from Pennsylvania. She's taught in Philadelphia's West Oak Lane section before moving to Harrisburg with her husband. There was a thing in here somewhere I was reading about her. She's like a professional social justice warrior. Oh, here. She was elected NEA vice president on July 4th, 2014 with 92% of the vote, becoming part of NEA's historic all-minority, all-female leadership team. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. She wants to get rid of testing, I think. Wow. Rebecca Pringle. What a fucking mess. Why would you send your kids to fucking school? I know, because you have to work all day. I know. Sorry, I know. Because you have to work all day. I know. Look at that. Look at this shit. Yeah, she doesn't give a shit about kids. If we value this is her Twitter. If we value education, we must also value educators. We have heard countless stories from NEA members about how life-changing it's been to feel the crushing burden of student debt lessened. So she fuck it, don't make people pay back their student loans. Someone else will pay for it. Books with disability perspectives in school libraries promote inclusivity and understanding. Do you know, like, it's normal now for young girls to have like mental health issues? It's like part of the maturation process. Okay, you're going to learn how to walk, then you're going to get your period, and then you're going to be mentally ill. It's like it's baked in there now. It's baked in. It's baked into the curriculum. It's part of it. It's baked in. You have to go through some craziness. You have to have some disability. Everyone has a disability. Last night, I had the honor of celebrating the recipients of the NEA Human and Civil Rights Awards. Parents and children with guidance from their doctors should get to decide what medical decisions are right for them. It's essential that trans youth have access to the full continuum of gender-affirming care. Like, none of it surprises you, right? Kids eating pretzels. She has kids eating pretzels. She uses words like allies. To those advocates and allies attending our conference on racial and social justice today and tomorrow, thank you for your commitment and your courage. Absolutely fucking insane. Most of her tweets don't say anything. Like thanking Congress and thanking people. Oh, here. Billionaires don't need any more power in this country. By the way, did you know that the largest transfer of wealth in the history of the world happened during COVID? Imagine that. And who do you think drove that? Liberals or conservatives? They complain about rich people. Look, they complain about rich people, yet they drive all the wealth to rich people. They complain about inequality, and yet all of their programs force blacks and minorities to be dependent on the government. Billionaires don't need any more power in this country. The people do. And yet she closed down the schools. But in the Chevron decision, the Supreme Court just granted themselves a blanket authority to rewrite the rules in favor of billionaires and major corporations, leaving the American people to pay the price. Insane. What an insane take. Those rules that we went through during the pandemic were written by the people that were empowered by the Chevron decision, the original Chevron decision. Oh, listen to this. So it's undisputed. There's no one who disputes that letting people choose their schools leads to better education. And where it's the 100% the study's been done, which is uh, kind of an easy study to do since the baseline is so low, is among minority kids. So if you let their parents pick their schools by giving them school vouchers and letting them choose charter schools, unequivocally across the board, 100%, everything gets better for them. But this is her take on it, right? Because she doesn't care about the kids. She cares about the preserving the money for these lazy fat fucks that teach in our schools. Children deserve fully funded public schools, but privatization schemes like vouchers rob public schools of taxpayer dollars and perpetuate non-heal inequality. It's the exact opposite of that. Crazy. Oh, that's what we need. This new rule will help millions of students connect to the internet at home. Oh, great. That's what we need. she's concerned about gun violence. No mention of black culture in here. No mention of the decay of black culture. It's funny. I'm a year in. Empowering students with disabilities. Oh, by the way, that's just code for it's normal to be disabled, to play the victim. That's all that is. They don't really care about disabled people. They just want to normalize it, make everyone disabled. No one deserves to live in fear of gun violence? Man. Becky Pringle. Meanwhile, in Europe, hey, do you think it's okay to undress adults who've gone through transgender operations, that have their genitals mutilated, and then stand them up, put them all on stage, men and women, and then have kids stare at them and talk to them, interact with them? You're not even going to believe this. These kids, 10, 11, and 12 years old, get the opportunity to ask questions to naked adults who've had their genitalia flip-flopped.
Hun blote lichaam en transgenders. Het gaat echt om het gevoel wat je van binnen hebt.
Wel wat in mijn broek, maar ik ben echt heel blij. Ik werd wakker en ik wist dat...
Het is een soort van dat je vliegt.
Ja.
Ja, je bent dan gewoon...
And that woman there who had her tits chopped off, she says it was exhilarating. And then the kid says it feels like flying. And then the chick who had her tits chopped off said, yes. And then this little girl says, I want that too. Right there. Doesn't this seem like that movie Human Centipede? Like sewing people's lips to someone else's anus so that they could shit in it and recycle the poop? Hey,
I don't care if you call me a bigot. I don't care if you call me a transphobe, but you will never be able to call me a bystander who is willing to sit back quietly while children are being sexually exploited. Even these young children have the wherewithal to know that this is not normal. But because of the way that this agenda is being presented to them, they're being convinced that this is normal. This woman even told the children that cutting off her breasts was euphoric. Parents, be mindful of what your kids are watching because there is nothing subliminal about this messaging.
Over hun blote lichaam en transgenders.
This is so sick and wrong. Where the fuck are their parents? Their parents brought them there. It's Clockwork Orange shit, like we're living it. Meanwhile, men are taking over women's sports. No, it's not true, Sevon. It's not true.
So the censorship of XXXY athletics continues, as you possibly have heard.
This lady was on the show a while back. She's the former I want to say operations officer, chief marketing officer at Levi Strauss. She was next in line to be the CEO. She got a couple black boys. So she checks the DEI box. She had a black husband. I think she's pretty much a full libtard, except for the fact she was really upset at school closures. And so that kind of cracked it for her. She didn't like the fact that her coworkers at Levi Strauss were sending their kids to private school, and the private schools were open in San Francisco, but where her two black sons attended school, the schools weren't open and stayed closed for 2 years. So she started getting vocal about it and then got fired from Levi Strauss. She wrote a book. She was a former national champion gymnast. She's a cool lady, a little tense, still not free yet, but she's working her way there. But she's teamed up with, I think, like Bethany Hamilton and Riley Gaines to try to get men out of women's sports. Here we go.
By now, my brand, XXXY Athletics, was banned from advertising on TikTok on June 18th. For simply running an ad that encourages women and girls to stand up for themselves for fairness, safety, and privacy in sports. Apparently that's offensive in the world today. But here's the thing, it doesn't end there. I've got a few more examples for you. The hits keep coming. Meta, the owner of Facebook and Instagram, has totally handicapped our brand and our business as well. Let me explain this one. It's a little more complicated. Most brands are able to target the followers of relevant influencers. So Nike could target Megan Rapinoe's followers, for instance, not us. When we try to target Riley Gaines' 400,000 plus followers on Instagram, she is our own brand ambassador. The advertising targeting platform does not allow it. You put her name in, you type it in, and it doesn't show up.
Look at this shit. The censorship is so fucking crazy at fucking Instagram and Meta.
It's as if Riley and her 400,000 followers do not exist on Instagram when we try to target them. The same is true for Tulsi Gabbard. She has close to 1 million followers. This is a former U.S. representative, a former Democratic presidential candidate, and a current member of the U.S. Army Reserves. Nope, she doesn't exist in Instagram either when we try to target her followers. But if we wanted to target Joe Biden's followers or Megan Rapinoe's followers, that is just fine. I know this is a little inside baseball. It's a bit confusing, not as simple as a TikTok ban. So the censorship of—
I want to know if they can do the— what was that that trans thing that was on the Budweiser can? Mulaney? I wonder if you can put her in. So basically, you can go on Facebook and you can go on Instagram, I guess, and you can buy ads, and they'll be like, hey, where do you want to spend your money? And you can be like, well, I'm selling golf balls, so I want to target Tiger Woods' followers, and you type in Tiger Woods' name, and they'll lean the campaign that way. You can't do that with Riley Gaines or Tulsi Gabbard. Fucking nuts. And TikTok doesn't let you say that men don't belong in women's sports? Dylan. Oh yeah, Dylan Mulaney. Yeah, they should type in Dylan Mulaney's name. I wonder if you can target his followers or its followers or whatever it is. It's like the censorship is so fucking alive and strong in this country. I don't know if you guys follow this guy. This guy ass pounds The View all the time. He's a comedian. Check this out. I just saw this too. Look at this. What's his name? Damon Imani. Here we go.
Today, I was informed by Instagram that they will remove my account and my content from places like Explore, Search, Suggested Users, Reels, and Feed recommendations, basically making it impossible to gain new traction. But they also let me know that people who chose to follow my account are less likely to see my content. So they're basically killing my account. Now, the question is, what kind of atrocity have I committed to deserve a penalty like this? Well, they gave me two reasons. The first one, I stated in a video that I don't think eating a banana on air is racist after I was accused of racism for eating a banana on air.
Eating a banana on air is racist? What the fuck leap is that? What kind of fucking leap is that?
They removed that one for hate speech. The second one, I posted on Instagram that TikTok removed a video of mine for saying that it's better to be with a man in the woods than a bear. And they removed that one because it could encourage violence and lead to risk of physical harm or direct threat to public safety. So to be clear, Instagram moderators have essentially declared that bananas are racist and that a man is more dangerous than a bear. These are the people in charge of our online speech. Today I was
fucking nuts. Fucking nuts. Hey, no one's crying about it. I'm educating morons like yourself, dude. I'm educating morons like yourself. I'm just educating you. Just sit back and relax, Patty. Patty, chill. Put your headphones on and listen to the sweet vibrations of my voice as I educate you. Try to turn off that fucking paranoid, fucking psychotic mind of yours just for a few seconds, buddy. Just for a few seconds. There's no victim. There's no Patrick. This is God speaking. Just educating, buddy. Just educating. Just educating. It's okay to express a little frustration if your car gets a flat tire. It's okay. Sevi, what does your microphone taste like? Pat's anus. 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 Heinous, anus, heinous, anus, heinous, anus, heinous, heinous, anus, anus, anus. This one's great. I guess Muslims don't like butt slammers or carpet munchers too much.
Marries a woman or a guy marries a guy, do that, it goes straight to hell.
LGBTQ is not religion.
This is Hamtramck, Michigan, a predominantly Muslim town that made it illegal to hang the gay flag up in public space, causing a small war between the LGBT community and the Muslims that live here.
Not happy with the ban. I believe it to be unconstitutional. We've had 3.
By the way, that's what all my neighbors look like when I lived in Berkeley. Just like fucking that. Identical. That's them. You just take that. That's what she had 3 gay flags hanging. That's cool.
Flags torn off. I'm not teaching hate against Muslims. Muslims should not be teaching hate against gay people. They had young people at the polls screaming, kill the fags during the voting.
We're investigating
kill the fags. You're not supposed to say that?
The gay flag ban thing.
We go egg the flag. We gotta go egg the flag.
Really?
Yeah. Right now. So you see that flag right there?
See that, yeah.
That's some gay. Right?
In this country, you can be who you want to be. Religion and politics have to be totally separate.
The Constitution says we're allowed to have religious beliefs. And in our religion, it says a woman marries a woman or a guy marries a guy, like strictly forbidding.
This city, the rest of us alone. I don't care either.
What was the plan with the egg?
A woman marries a woman or a guy marries.
I have this great. They need to take all the gay men. We'll keep the gay women. We'll keep the gay women. All the gay men and all the Muslims and just like put them in Nevada together and fence it off and just see how it works out. Get all the Muslims and all the butt slammers together. It's just let them work it out. I think gay men could teach Muslims a lot. A lot. Finance, architecture, cleanliness. It'd be good. It'd be good. Wow, David. Islam is the biggest problem in the world. Wow. Islam just by that you mean like the mindset that comes along with it? Excuse me. Wow. I don't think Muslims belong in the US. They're just incompatible. It's fun to see them rebel against the left. I'm so glad I found CrossFit and I exercise. God damn, I'm so glad. 40% off of Fit Aid. Use that. Look at Europe. We are next. All them. What's crazy is all the Muslim guys I know are cool as shit. They're all fucking cool. I'm trying to think. I think all the lesbians I know are cool too. Not all the gay guys I know are cool. I'm trying to think if I know any shitbag. And I know shitloads of fucked up heterosexuals. Might as well throw them in there. Yeah, I don't know one. I don't know. I haven't met one Muslim guy or that is not cool. But I haven't met any overseas. I just know the U.S. ones. All the ones I know own convenience stores. Yeah, me too. Me 100%. Me too. And they're crazy good, nice to my kids, and they're yeah. And I don't know any asshole lesbians either. Now that I think about it, I'm sure they're out there. I see them on Instagram and shit, but like I don't know any. Anyway, no gays in Michigan. I thought it was a crazy liberal state. I guess they got a little city there that's like no gays. Crazy. This chick popped on my radar watching the Glinton podcast. Actually, both these chicks have kind of popped up on my radar lately. Mercedes Chandler. Okay, here we go. David, this one's for you and Pat. You guys should listen to this closely to help you understand how things work in the world. Listen to this. Here we go.
Some straight men are attracted to trans women who haven't had bottom surgery.
That's gay.
It's very disconcerting and confusing to women when they find this out because they think, well, if she hasn't had bottom surgery, then and you want to play with that part of her, then you can't be 100% straight. But that doesn't make sense because remember that these are still women. Trans women are women. They are female. The attraction to her is from the waist up, but it can also be from the waist down. And they can experience pleasure playing with that person from the waist down. But that act, again, doesn't indicate a sexual orientation. It indicates an attraction to the person, to the woman, the trans woman. Actually, some of these men are attracted to gender fluidity in that the person exhibits both male and female body parts, and that's attractive to them.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with if you're gay? Nothing's wrong with it, but just call it what it is. This guy's saying that if you hook up with a chick and she has a penis and you jerk off the penis, that it's not gay because it has makeup on up top and presents like a girl. I'm pretty sure that's gay. I don't mean that in an offensive way either. Just like, hey, then you're gay. It's just gay. You're just gay.
Gay.
Gay men are attracted to trans
It's being gay with
men who
extra
haven't had bottom
steps.
surgery. That doesn't make them bi. It doesn't make them straight.
Yeah, it's like a.
It's gay.
That's
It makes
gay.
them gay.
That's gay. And trans women are not women. They're not females. Like, we know this.
Yeah, it's just gay.
You know, I'm really sad for this guy because obviously he did not make it past 4th grade.
So what's the deal with that? So that guy's just in denial that he's gay, and so he's made up like this, like, oh God, I could say something so fucking funny here. It's like an intermediate. It's like an intermediate step. It's like sleeping with a CrossFit girl. It's an intermediate step to being gay. Just one step away. Like if you want to explore your gaydom, you should date a CrossFit girl. It's like the intermediate before you go. I'm fucking be in trouble for that one. I don't get in trouble very often. That one's going to get me. Yeah. So listen, if you into jerking off penises other than your own, you're gay. Fuck, dude. Maybe you're even gay if you touch your own penis. Maybe if you masturbate to your own penis, it's just like that's like you're at the 20-yard line. But if you touch someone else's penis, you're at the, and enjoy it, then you're at the you're in the end zone, doing an end zone dance. All right. Wow, good thing this is a small show. Man, this is one of the smallest shows I've ever done. Tranny wheels on a gay bike. Yeah. Listen, it's okay. Just accept it. The sooner you accept that jerking off other guys, if you have a penis, is gay, that you can get on with your life. Just get on with it. You don't gotta make an intermediate step. Yeah, if you touch your penis when you pee, you're at the 10-yard line of being gay. Let's see if I can find something. Oh, look, more Muslim gay talk. Here we go. Our buddy Mr. Gutfeld. Here we go.
Of liberal professors recently claimed that pointing out Hamas's atrocious record on gay rights is in and of itself homophobic violence.
So I've been at protests where I'm then told, don't you know what Hamas would do to you if you were in Palestine? And we have to start naming this actually as homophobic.
This is why people are leaving the left. And this is also why people feel like they're going insane. Because you can't just make an observation about a thing anymore without being labeled a bunch of names.
Yeah.
Just for being an honest person now, people will say you shouldn't work anymore and you should. It's absolutely flustering. You're like, that's a guy in a dress. They go, what did you say?
Yeah.
It's not a guy. You're like, I'm pretty sure there's a bio.
Wait, if you wipe your penis, you're gay? Shit. What yard line? Like in the end zone? I wipe my penis. My kid asked me the other day why I wipe my penis. My kid asked me that. I was taking a piss and I got some toilet paper and dabbed the tip of my cock. And he goes, why do you do that? Like, God damn it. I told him. I don't want any drops in the panties. I don't want any drops in my panties. That is gay? Fine. Gay. Just call me Sevon the Gay. So if you tell gay people that Palestinians in Gaza would kill you if they found out you're gay, you're homophobic. That is fucking wild. Wild, wild, wild. The Wild West. All right. Anything else? Anyone? All right. Yeah, you can shake too. You can shake. Yeah, you can shake the penis too. Yeah, I do shake. If you have an awful car accident and you have a donor hands and hog put on, are you then watching a man diddle another man? Oh. Wow. You wipe your penis because you're old and you don't know when it stops, probably. But I've done it ever since I've been a little kid. I wonder who taught me that. God, who taught me that? I don't remember who taught me that. For sure someone taught me that though. Probably my mom. And she's never had a penis. She probably taught me. I should ask her if she taught me that. How would I bring that up? Hey, Mom, you want to come over and play ping pong and work in the garden? Oh, by the way, did you teach me to dab toilet paper on my penis? Wiping your willy so it tastes good for the priest. Okay. What's today? Oh, today's Monday. Oh, my wife wants to do a yoga class. Yes. Of course. I've had kids limping in the house now for 2 months. Is that crazy? Ankle, knee, fucking all fucked up, all beat up. That's the worst, seeing your kids wounded. I'm looking to see who's on tomorrow. Oh, Samuel Cornway is on tomorrow morning. I really like him. Matt has a show on tomorrow. Oh, I'm guessing there'll be a Dave Castro weekend review today. Wednesday, Greg Glassman's back. Car Saunders in the evening. Thursday, Abigail Domit. Oh, and Jason Haber. Oh, I haven't seen. It's up, right? Hiller put up a new video. I haven't seen it yet. I'm I've been taking a break. I haven't been on the assault bike in 3 days because I'm really concerned about this thing on the bottom of my foot if I have plantar fasciitis or whatnot. And if I'm gonna go to the games, I'm gonna walk fucking 10 miles a day. Okay, let's see what's going on here at HillerFit.
My name is Abigail Domit, and I'm a 2-time games athlete.
From the beginning, the aim of CrossFit has been to build a program that would best prepare human beings for any physical contingency. CrossFit Games was designed to fitness for any type of test that's thrown at Abigail Domit 3 CrossFit Games, but after her appearance to this year's CrossFit Games. In her rookie season, Abigail finished 26th place at the 2023 CrossFit Games, but after her incredible finish at this year's West Coast semifinals, many heads are turning to see just what she's all about. An impressive 30-point spread over superstar runner-up Alex Gazan, and the only athlete at semifinals to score all of her events as top 10 finishes, Abigail is setting up to be one of the athletes to keep your eyes on at this year's CrossFit Games. One thing is for certain, this year, Abigail Domit is no longer unknown or unknowable.
Wait,
at this year,
I'm gonna change that again. I'm gonna edit that. Hold on.
Year's CrossFit Games. One thing is for certain, this year, Abigail Domit is no longer unknown or unknowable.
Okay, well, one thing is for certain about Abigail Domit. Hold on, I'm gonna rewrite that. Hold on.
This year's CrossFit Games. One thing is for certain, this year, Abigail Domit
is hot as fuck.
Send the edit to Bill Grunler.
Is no longer unknown or unknowable.
Ooh, I like that. Strong
What's
opening.
up?
What's up? Strong opening.
It's hot here, dude.
Airwave. Sponsor.
I mean, it's summer. It's supposed to be hot.
You're not wrong.
I've been like
Why'd she lock the door like that?
super content with the weather this year because last year was so bad. Like it was like 11th few days.
Good. It was
like my first summer here. I was like, oh my gosh. But eventually.
Is she a baller? Who the fuck has a dining room in their house like that? Look at that dining room. Is that her parents' house?
I acclimated. When I go up north, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Is she rich? Is Domit rich? Hey, we're live on the air.
Oh, all right. What up?
Sorry, I called you on the wrong phone accident. Hey, is Abigail Domit rich?
No.
What's up with that dining room in the video?
What's rich?
Like, you know, like fucking independently wealthy, don't have to worry about the price of avocados, no debt.
Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
I continuously told them to stop buying fruit in individual packets, and her husband, Anton, insisted that it was better to buy it wrapped by themselves.
Oh, okay. So they are rich. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's how I buy. Yeah. Okay, that's good. All right. Thank you.
I like to buy in bulk so that it's cheaper, and they like to buy for convenience.
How's it? Oh, you just put this up 33 minutes ago?
Correct.
Oh shit! Well, congratulations.
I try to do that on a schedule. So when I do these athlete videos, I post them all on Monday at 11 o'clock my time.
Holy fuck! The intro gave me chills. This is your best one yet, Hiller. Another great one, dude. Dude, this is so good. Getting one of the best commentators in the space. We got 1 minute of video per hour. Solid synergy. Cameraman just let her run into a dog. Oh, that's awesome. Is there a scene where she runs into a dog?
Yeah.
That's some good documentary work.
Walking and she runs into a dog.
Excellent. Great capture.
I have a mentor.
Well, he's doing a great job. Sorry, he or she's doing a great job. All right, dude. Well, thank you. I can't wait to watch this.
Cool. I sent it to you. You were like Patrick Clark. You had an early screening of it.
Oh, Patrick Clark got an advanced screening also?
He did, yeah. I had issues uploading it, and I hadn't looked at my phone in like 3 or 4 days. So I was clearing my phone out, and I go, "Hey, I was working on this. Sorry I didn't get back to you."
Oh, you're a good dude.
I sent it to you too.
All right. Well, when I see you have long videos like this, I purposely like try not to look at them until because I want to like savor it. You know what I mean? I want it to be like somewhere where like I'm stuck somewhere and I can just like give it all my attention.
I'm not going to tell you to ever watch anything ever again, considering your opinion on The Boys, though.
Oh, why are you in love with The Boys?
No, I'm not in love with it, but I only recommend things I think people will like.
Well, hey, dude, I'm glad I saw it because it's given me like this huge cultural awareness. Hey, dude, did you know that Starlight chick has had a fucking mental breakdown in real life around social media?
Yes.
How's the irony of that? That's fucking crazy, isn't it?
I don't really believe it because wouldn't it just be something if it was all a ploy?
Oh,
Like
okay.
the whole TV show is a ploy and
Okay.
everything's fake. That's what I think.
Okay, good. Well, I hope you're right.
Yeah, I think she's fine. But then again, she did alter the crap out of her face, so who knows?
How about the black dude lost all that weight? When I started season 4, I was like, holy shit, they got a new black guy. And then I looked it up and he just lost a lot of weight.
And he shaved his face, so it made him look twice as weird.
Yeah.
I liked him better when he was chunky.
Yeah,
Right.
me too.
Something like his name doesn't fit anymore. Like Mother's Milk doesn't fit with him being skinny, right?
We're kind of like the oppressors. We don't want people, we want to keep them fat. I liked you better when you were fat. What a horrible thing to say. I had a good friend tell me more that I'm way cooler when I'm drunk. That hit home.
That one sucks.
Yeah, that hurt.
You still hang out with that person?
I do.
Uh-oh. Usually I'll hear that and I'll go, I don't want to hang out with you anymore.
I like you better when you're balls deep inside of me.
That one's fine.
Yeah.
Probably hang out with that person more.
More. Mas.
Yeah, hang out with them more.
All right. Well, thanks for answering. Can't wait to see this.
Cool.
All right. Later, dude.
Bye.
Yeah, if she's doing a handstand walk and she's going to hit the dog, that's going to be an awesome scene. You got to leave that shit. Look, I just called Hiller and my viewers went up by 20. Needle mover. All right. This is cool. Give this a thumbs up. Can't wait to see this. I think Domit might have some hippie in her. A little bit of dirt twirler, which is nice. All right. CrossFat. The story behind Mother's Milk is from the comic. He had to nurse from his mother or he'd die. You mean like as an older person? Okay. All right. I don't know anything else that's going on today. Make sure you check all the accounts. Here, I'll check them for you. Get with the programming. Let's see if they have a show today. Get with the programming has a show tonight. Best rookie class. Okay, so they're doing it on the rookies tonight at 6:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Let's see, coffee, pods, And oh shit, I might be on at the same time as them because I sometimes do the Dave Castro Week in Review at that time. Coffee Pods and Wads. Maybe I'll do it earlier. Nothing from Pedro today, but tomorrow, Chris Ibarra. Oh shit, Pedro, and then on the 12th he has Alicia Fuliano. All right, fine. So tonight, get with the programming, and at some point I'll do a weekend review. Barbell spin. Videos. No, live. Nothing scheduled. And Thursday, by the way, Abigail Doman's coming on the show. I think it's the same day that Hopper's coming on. Damn, all these people's stations are doing so well. Barbell Spin's killing it. All right. Do I have any other friends with podcasts? All right. See you guys tomorrow morning. Who did I say was on? You know who's coming back on the show is Charlie Lawrence is coming back on the show. He's going to do a 100-miler. Oh, tomorrow, Samuel Cornway. Yeah, that's cool. All right, tomorrow's going to be a great show. I will talk to you guys soon.